RV, as they are going to be knifing for side. Just as you already highlighted the importance of this, potentially for those AWPers. We know very few AWPers tend to kind of choose to pick up their AWP on the T side as confidently as on other maps, and I think one of the exceptions to that is definitely going to be Ali. I've always seen him be one of those T-sided Inferno AWPers. And he has already and continued to do so. It's interesting if you can kind of take some time and look at what he does so differently or what it is that makes him so comfortable on it. Something that we worth having a look on. But either way, we are going to be going into the first round. We are going to be seeing Navi on the CT side and Dignitas taking the T.
Indeed we are, and I'm going to be just keeping eyes on Dignitas here. They used to be renowned for their pistol strength, to be fair statistically, so I'm hoping we can see a little bit more of that, but only MSL already picking up the utility here. Everyone else going in for that Glock train or so, it seems, and it looks like they will be keeping eyes maybe towards A, but it's very early in the day, and a little flash to come through as Edward might just get some information there.
I thought he was going to get a little more. I think maybe he heard enough footsteps to kind of gather the intel safely, but all the same, he is going to be backing away. You have Zeus and Edward over on A. 3 players rather pushed up, actually locked up by the smoke, but they are going to be basically holding quite aggressively over towards Banana. Dignitas, that doesn't affect them one bit. They're not interested in some potassium right now because they're all coming on in towards A. Here comes the wave. Edward gets taken down by a joint effort of Pimp and Kiebi. And the second one's going to come in from MSL. So already the bodies are dropping. The bomb is 2. And Navi have got to try and fight their way back into the site. Those 3 players at B have got some legwork to do.
Yeah, they certainly do. And AZ set up well for this. They're all watching these crossfires. But Guardian's going to find a cheeky little way and follows up perfectly. That's Pimp down. Now, 2v3 though. Schneider bringing it back in favor to Dignitas. Going to have to push it together. Time's still ticking. There's an option here. They both got armor. They can make this happen. Guardian not going to go down without a fight. 1v2 now. Bomb is a little ahead and they should be able to close him down. And they do. But a nice little 3k for him. But MSL responding accordingly and a really nice take towards A.
Nice from Dignitas. I thought maybe things were going to start slipping away when you have a player like Guardian who just went crazy. 3 very, very nice frags. Catching that player over towards the stairs, though, as well, was, you know, towards Boiler. That caught me off guard. I'm sure it caught AZ off guard as well, going down so quickly in such a potentially unexpected position. Either way, though, back into our second. It does look like Na'Vi are not going to be going down without a fight, though. We actually have a FAMAS in the hands of Flamey and armor where they can get it.
Yeah, this time only 1 player present towards B, putting Flamey there just on his own, pretty much with that FAMAS, with the armor and a smoke, just so he can have a little bit of time to be bought. So it will slow down the T side. They won't be able to just rush it out. But look at the amount of rifles they've invested into. Only that UMP there with AZ, so everyone else pretty much upgrading. You
say only. Look how much damage he did to Flamey, down to 5. Surely going to be getting rid of that FAMAS, and he does, throws it into the hands of Seized. He's actually got a very good eye line through that smoke just to catch the legs of AZ.
Seized, just using that smoke well. But while all this happens, you can see they are starting to make their way towards the A side. Edward going to be meeting them by quad, but his Guardians have to do the work, and I don't think he's going to... Oh, tell a lie, I didn't think he was going to have much of a shot then, but MSL was on the receiving end of that dink, and Guardian now surrounded. 4 players pouring in. Stunning shot towards Kiebi, but regardless gets put to bed as Seized now. He started out with the FAMAS being dropped over to him. Let's see if he can put it to some sort of work.
Let's not go down Guardian with a pistol, it seems. 2 rounds in, he's already sent a message. First with the P2K, now with the P250. And now Seized. He's actually got a pretty good shot at this one. I say that Schneider snatches it away with a nice quick headshot into Seized, and that's going to be the second then for Dignitas. Navi investing into that one, and Dignitas are going to know that as they're going to be opting most likely for some SMGs, I would expect, to shred through that. We are going to be seeing some MAC-10s picked up, going gangster style to try and get a little bit of extra cash in their pocket against the unarmored Navi.
Yeah. And to be fair, Guardian's been doing some real work with that P250 any pistol, but I think this one might be a little bit too far ahead, and we are seeing the all-out stack towards B. I wouldn't be surprised to see some aggression coming through on Banana, and then just see if these guys can just clean up off the back of it. MSL's going to be just charging away. This could be a lot of money or a lot of trouble, and that's a perfect flash put. He finds nothing.
That's the power of a flashbang, folks. Fortunately, Pimp and AZ are going to be doing all the work. Pimp with 3, AZ takes 2. And Na'Vi get dissolved over on B. That's going to be the third then for Dignitas. And actually quite nice work with the kind of rifle and SMG combo, getting a little bit of extra cash, but not taking too much of a risk up against that stack. Now, going into that fourth, we're going to be seeing the kind of survival rate of Dignitas. Na'Vi making a good dent both in that pistol and that second round. And now we're going to be interesting to see where they choose to receive the T side.
Look how many mollies there are already with Dignitas as well. They've got so many building up here. 3 already. One AZ, one Schneider, and one towards Kievi. But they're looking like a fast play coming through here. And this could be dangerous if Zeus does turn in time. 3 players by quad here. He's in the perfect spot. Gets 1, gets his 2nd, gets his 3rd. And this buy-up, this big play from Dignitas might have just got ruined.
There is a loophole, a very big loophole, and it's going to be Zeus who completely exploits it just through Boiler. 3 players with their backs turned to him, and he gets all 3. There was, in fact, a 4th that managed to back away. It was AZ, and he's going to try and pick up where his team struggled to lift off. They are both coming towards from Library. AZ is ready. 1 player in Moto now. As Kiebi just going to be biding time. AZ is going to find 1, but Flamey quickly puts him back in his place. They know where that last player is. Flamey with his rather sexy M4 is on the hunt for the bomb. He is going to find it in the nick of time, but that's a perfect molly. Just needs to stay alive. Oh, and now Flamey is most definitely against the flames as he backs away. The molly does secure it, and we are going to be seeing the round go the way of Dignitas, but by God was that close.
Yeah, that was very close. But the molly came out. It was.
But he was so exposed pulling that molly out. If there was just a little bit of a quicker look towards that balcony area, we could have seen the round go Navi's way. Of course, there was a
thanks to Zeus mostly. To be fair,
yeah, true.
No one checking Boiler that early on. You can see it right now. Literally, no one even gave a second thought to this. The player up in apps just kept going. I think it was Kievi just kind of moseying through, which is fine. But still, that got very dangerous. You can see the buy up now. A little bit of armor, 5/7, nothing much to work with. And we are going to see the late smoke coming down towards B just to maybe assist Flamey a little here and see what he can achieve.
Okay, the bomb's loose for Dignitas, and that's going to be suggesting that they're not going to be going for anything as quick as they did once just with the round prior. Keeping things slow and just trying to gather some information, some intel. Cautious that anything kind of crazy, a curveball could be thrown out by Navi, well aware of their economy, but AZ throws one of his own, catches Flamey through the smoke and sees he's going to be backing away on a rifle retrieval mission, and he does find success. As Dignitas banging some pans and making noise. AZ a second, narrowly through smoke just as it plumed, and now we are going to be seeing Dignitas well aware of the 2 frags, make it 3 that have already occurred, starting to forge a push straight towards it. It's only been Zeus who stands in their way again, this time not going to find 3, just the 1 with the 5/7, and it's going to be a very scared Seized with Kevlar and an M4 to his name.
Yeah, so far, Dignitas are looking absolutely formidable. They've dealt really well with Na'Vi, so I'm excited to see this. This is what I kind of expected to come out on this map from them, but bearing in mind, Dignitas are in 5th place thus far in the league, Na'Vi up in 3rd. This could be a really big result for Dignitas, but let's see how well they can keep this T-side building, because so far there's been a couple of loopholes, but it doesn't seem to matter at the moment. The close could come out from C's here towards MSL, but by no means should he be able to find Schneider and AZ, but he's certainly making it pricey. That's AZ down, but the time is just too much against him. There's nothing he can do here, but 4 HP. He's gonna just about tag up Schneider down to 4 HP there, but in the end, the round goes to Dignitas, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day how close these rounds are. Dig is still closing them. So as you can see, it's been fairly close, but still, 5-0 on the board. It
is good to keep their foot on their economy, though. Dignitas could have start, snowballing out of control, but fortunately, C's taking 3 very important frags, taking the rifles and the armor away from them, forcing that rebind. You can see already that they have kind of managed to keep it under control to an extent. No AWP to be seen on the side of Dignitas. Guardian, though, has other plans. He's going for a fast peek towards Banana. I say fast, actually looks to hit the brakes somewhat, as that flash is going to deter him. And MSL is going to be potentially on the receiving end. That's a nice angle held by Guardian, finds the chest of MSL, and the molly in response is going to do nothing but deter him just for a second. As Dignitas in the meantime, they are forging a push on towards A. 3 of them already on there, Edward and Zeus. Can Zeus do it again? That's a very foolish flash, catches his teammate, but fortunately, Edward can take the initial frag. And why are they not checking that? Were they not aware? Are you bonkers? He gets the frag onto Kirby, the bomb goes down, but it's just Pimp, and miscommunication is the word.
Yeah, most certainly, but Pim doesn't really give too much of a care at the moment. He's doing wonderfully, but he's down to 6 HP. He's still got utility to work with, just not time to put it into place. He tries to take the shot on Flamey, but the defuse will come in. And it just looks like Dignitas have these kind of like set strats almost, right? So that they've done the kind of theory crafting, but then when it comes into, the loopholes, the kind of downfalls to it, that's where the issues seem to arise.
3 times now we've seen them push into a site, primarily, in fact, it's always been the A site, and they're just not checking rather predictable corners. Boiler in the first instance,
to be fair,
Balcony in the second.
I think just the Na'Vi stack by Balcony then kind of caught them out. That random flash, I don't think was actually meant to land there.
It was Edward's flash, right?
Yeah, so I think once they killed Edward, they were like, oh, that's just it. It was just, how it is, but clearly not the case, and it almost cost them a very big round there, but a stack towards Banana early on could do some damage here. Flamey actually pushing up quite far.
Look what he's got to say. Zeus and Flamey finding them And that's going to be Dignitas chopped down to 3 very early on in this round. They took rifles to it, just Kirby, who's gone a little under geared, and here they come again, very reminiscent of their previous rounds, and this time Edward greets them with the FAMAS. Does get taken down, but it's nothing in comparison to what Guardian is capable of. 2 quick frags, and we are going to be seeing another Na'Vi round. 2 in a row now for Natus Vincere, and that was a very clean and cut one.
Yeah, and Dig just playing super fast. I kind of want them to slow down a bit, maybe just kind of get some of the utility away from Na'Vi, because we've seen how much power those flashes have had recently. Of course, looking at the money, it's not going to be this round for Dignitas, but still, I want to see a little bit more from that. AZ's been playing beautifully, just getting those opening shots and closing down a lot of these rounds, but still, Na'Vi starting to get themselves into this, and this should be a comfy one for Guardian, as he does connect there towards Schneider.
Yeah, of course, he had a little bit more comfort knowing that there weren't going to be rifles in their hands, enabled him to go for that aggressive peek. Not expecting any crazy P250 across the map shot. Sees he's going to follow suit as well as he gets the bomb loose, and that's right outside the smoke. That is the worst case scenario, but fortunately AZ times it beautifully and gracefully dances back into the smoke to short-lived safety. And the bodies are going to keep piling up. Then it's just a question of like if they could get a frag, but I think that's going to be a resounding no. It's going to be Zeus who does end it for us, and that's going to be the 3rd then for Na'Vi.
Yeah, and Na'Vi keeping hold of a great deal of their utility as well. You can see that bank just really starting to build up, keeping even mollies from that last round, not really needing to use them. You saw how much just that smoke helped them out on Banana then. It was super, super, super good. But anyway, on the other side of things, let's see what Dig have in store this round. I kind of hope they slow down a little. They've been kind of just powering through. I want to see them kind of using those mollies a little more, but at the moment, you know, they're still leading on their T side. 5-3 is not a bad scoreline. I just want to see where they can take it from now on, and if Guardian keeps getting kind of aggressive here, if he keeps going for these peaks, I'll be very curious. But no, that molly put down early, denying him that pick, and MSL could be on the receiving end. Already, Kirby going to find Edward.
Yeah, and Guardian is going to be forced away from that smoke, so Dignitas implementing nades well, but how well is Zeus causing a threat towards Apps? Kirby down, but fortunately Schneider is there to get the rebuttal, and here they go, seized, and Schneider then back and forth we go, in 3v2 now, with the bomb going in safely up against that presence from Seized. How long can he live? Not long, as MSL takes him out of the equation. Now all onto Flamey, the last man to rotate from B. And he's got a rather scary situation on his hands. 3 Ts locking themselves into that A site when the bomb ticking away as well. Gonna be just perusing, seeing if he can find just one or even a second head. Doesn't look like anything's going to be given to him. They did line up, though. Unfortunately, Pimp does get the trade, so that's all you need in order to acquire a much-needed round for Dignitas. They were starting to see Na'Vi get a little bit of a pace behind them, a little wind to their sails, but fortunately, Dignitas, or rather Pimp, manages to secure that round for his team. Looking at the scoreboard as well, AZ sitting about 9 frags. We do have Schneider on 8 as well. And just at the bottom of the scoreboard, Kirby has been encountering some problems with Zeus over towards Apps.
Yeah, and it just looks like Dig have been just kind of completely focusing towards quad the vast majority of the time, just trying to get their push through there, and then kind of splitting up with splitting up with Apps as well. And this time, a lot more utility coming out from Na'Vi, going to get the presence here on that map, trying to push down Banana a little bit. Those deep smokes going through, allowing Flamey and Seized a touch more pressure. Now AZ is going to find out, but Seized completely flashed up, allowing AZ through. That's 2 back-to-back. That's the impression this man can make. And now B is all Dignitas. Look at this. Schneider's straight through the smoke. Yeah, this should be a clean round. Na'Vi
just rolled down the red carpet and welcomed them into that B site straight up. I mean, Seized and Flamey pushed up aggressive. When you push that aggressively, you expect there to be some sort of support framework there, you know, a smoke, a flash, something in order to kind of acquire early dominance, and nothing really there from Na'Vi, in which case it really did throw that round away. You said it's going to be almost a guaranteed round, and look at that. They're just hitting the brakes. They're like, okay, let's just keep these rifles. And I don't even know if MSL and Schneider are going to let them.
No, I really like the way that already Pimp and Kirby are working through T-Apps as well, so they've kind of cleared that. So now they can actually, fairly methodically at least, clear through here. But Guardian might be able to catch out Schneider.
You'd expect.
And I doubt Edward will let MSL... Oh, maybe not. Okay, so Guardian's now in a little bit of trouble. There you go. So we'll find
so
Schneider.
Cheeky. He's got the confidence, not even kind of worried about a balcony push. He's just there to take as much as he can away from Dignitas.
To be fair, Zeus was up there, so he had some form of backup then. So I guess, you know, that's why he was confident. But still, 3-7. Na'Vi starting to find a little bit of, you know, money to be put back into this round, hoping they can start catching up with Dignitas, because Dignitas is playing super aggressive and they get the opening pick, so why not? AZ's been kind of providing those time and time again. And now we're going to see that 3-man stack over towards B. Guardian, Seized, and Flamey both here. Pimp's going to be looking for that opener. Wait and see if Guardian fancies those chances again. Kirby, Schneider working through that Side, and Pim's going to connect it, kind of predicting what's been going on so far, but will they work off the back? Bearing in mind, there was a 3-man stack here.
Yeah, and opting for that T-side AWP as well. Let's see if Flamey can... Oh, he puts them in their place. MSL and AZ are now down and out, and Flamey's still considering another peak there with just 15 points of health. He is most definitely a fan of the risk, and this time he does find some reward. Now, though, with the bomb still not really committed either side, it's going to be a question of how the CTs choose to respond to this intel. 2 players down on Banana, and Zeus and Edward just dig their heels in, well aware that Dignitas in the past have got kind of action on B and then continue to rotate towards A. This time, doesn't look like it's going to be the case, as they are starting to group, and Cease is... Oh, that's almost a perfectly timed Molotov, just reminding them there is a CT presence.
Almost perfectly timed. I'd say maybe 5 more seconds and it would have been perfect, but they're still in a good position. They still have a couple of flashes. Here come the smokes, and Dignitas are working off the back. They've got the bomb here, right on that corner as C's. Bear in mind, if he walks through that smoke, he's going to be presenting himself to 2. There's the timing on it. He gets both of them down. That's the bomb loose here. And now, really, the only man who could do anything was Pimp. He started this round well, but I doubt he'll end it any better.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to be able to catch both of them. There was a nice crossfire formed by Na'Vi. It's going to be Zeus who finds that one, finds the head of Pimp. And I mean, the Pimp AWPing question is that something that we've seen recently with the kind of addition of Schneider. He fell into that AWPing role, and I mean, a lot of people said that they're really not happy seeing Dignitas. They felt like there was an immediate fall in their form, seeing him lose that rifle role, considering how prominent he can be with a rifle. He said give it time. That was his tweet. He got a whole lot of interaction. Everyone was saying, okay, Pimp's made us a promise now. He's saying give it time, and it's kind of nice that we are seeing him so far primarily using that rifle. Of course, T-side on Inferno, it may be more expected.
Yeah.
But here we are. 4-7, Dignitas do have rifles.
And this looks a hell of a lot like that play towards quad we've been seeing time and time again, especially now they've been given that opener on towards Guardian. They know there's not going to be that presence over by that side by Mini, and already they're starting to filter the way through. Cease, though, this time is here a little earlier. That could cause a difference. Spots how MSL's guns. He knows he's here, but I don't know if he can do anything about it. Molly goes down. He's expecting the push out. He will follow the shot well, but Pimp will exchange, and this time Na'Vi are not letting them pour through.
And look at this, Zeus has just most definitely put up a stop sign, and Kjaerbye is trying to question it. Schneider right behind him as well. It's going to come down to AZ really, because that balcony play is going to be nullified by that smoke. No, Kjaerbye's going to push through it. He could catch out that quad presence. He does. That's a huge play. Fortunately, Edward does go into some sort of damage control mode, and look at Schneider, 3 points of health. Flamey's the one to take them away from him, and it's going to be 5-7 then, as Na'Vi... would you say that they read into that then? Was that like, okay, this is the Dignitas they execute? You saw it quite quickly from their use of their nades, because Na'Vi did seem to have a little bit more of a presence on A that round.
Well, to be fair, I just like the way that Na'Vi kind of took the fights a little closer. They kind of pushed up to actual quad rather than playing out of pit with that double stack. So really like to see that, and it clearly worked a lot better. It stopped them getting that full control, forcing the likes of Guardian to be the one to pick up the slack, and even when he was down, they were able to control it. So this time, all second mid, just kind of plowing their way forward, seeing maybe if they can get a cheeky plant, or I don't know. Maybe
on the hunt for Zeus, because he has been playing Apps an awful lot. This time, he is keeping himself a little safer. Looking for that close fight, and actually look at that, he's on his way.
The Glock train.
Oh, and here they come, and Zeus and Edward is going to hold down Mouse 1 and find 5. And that's going to be wrapping that round up as expected. About 60 points of damage done by Dignitas in that round.
Yeah. I think they knew what they were walking into.
As expected, I think, is the summary of that round.
I don't think they're too sad about that one. I think you just kind of have to swallow it. But 6-7, though. I'm liking this T-side from Dignitas. I really am. I think, considering on paper, Dig have been not quite to the, let's say, caliber of Na'Vi at times. It's been a really nice performance from them so far. I'm hoping their CT side can, keep a candle to this. But still, this is early on enough in this as Guardian was considering a smoke then, but backed away from it, and Dig are actually speeding up. They're not slowing down here. They're already pushed up by mid. Kjaerbye slightly slower through apps, but they are working up here, and they have now gone the opener. Edward's down. This time they're playing from deep in the side. This hasn't been working for Na'Vi. When they pushed up, it worked better, but now they're dependent on Guardian again. He's fallen, and it looks like Dig might have this one in the bag.
Picking up the pace and kind of picking up the heat. Certainly seems to work for Dignitas. Charging into the side, they took a whole lot of damage from nades. Look at those health bars. Just one man still sitting on the initial 100, and Flamian seized, realizing that this may be a bit too tall of an order, and that final round would look a lot sweeter with their current buy. And they are just going to be looking to catch someone Trying to escape that bomb explosion. It's going to be CSGO who does have a first choice. It's going to be AZ. They're all going to be going down. Look at that. CSGO, he did it before. He's going to do it again. And now all onto Kyobi. He's just going to be backing away, desperately trying to keep that AK in hand. And Na'Vi making the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah, and this is what I liked from Dig. They just sped up the pace, as you noted, more than anything. And by the time they did that, no one was able to get towards those challenges at quad. And actually, that impact on those last couple of kills is actually really big. The Galil having to come in for MSL, and I don't think they expected CSGO to be playing so close to that, if I'm completely honest, but really well done. I didn't even consider their money by the end of that, especially for MSL there, who's going to go in for the utility rather than the rifle in the end.
Just a couple of smokes for Pimp and AZ. I mean, that's all they've got. And Guardian.
Oh my
hang
God.
on a second.
Edward.
They were both
just
considering
about
it.
got out there.
Good fast flash from Dignitas. Now Zeus and Cease, the one's going to go on the aggress. Guardian Zeus on either end of the map, just continuing to rain down terror. 3 quick for Na'Vi, and now it's going to keep going. Dignitas have just let this round slip away. It's Na'Vi giving Dignitas a taste of their own medicine almost, turning up the heat and turning up the pace, and we are going to be seeing a quick final round on that first half from Na'Vi. 8-7 is our final half.
I think we just still have to keep in mind that's a really nice T-side in my eyes.
100%.
Really like that sort of play. But then again, Na'Vi, I've always liked their T-sides, quite a classical style of play, so I think
Henry G gets a little excited when they play Inferno.
He does. So I'm looking, I always enjoyed to see that. But still, Dignitas, really good performance thus far from them. I think AZ's opening kills were impressive. They're just kind of powerful play towards quad and A just worked out. And if it didn't, then there was always AZ or MSL just kind of powering through B, picking up 2 kills every single time or every now and then. As you had a mild heart attack thinking you were still spectating.
I did. I just accidentally tabbed out. Oh, okay. A little pump of adrenaline to my heart. It's only going to improve my casting. That's good.
Yeah, true.
I was going to take a look at the scoreboard. We have to wait until they do go back in. Just wanted to see kind of a quick reminder on who was performing. Just waiting for that one to update. It will do in a matter of time. Ta-da! 16 for Zeus. I wanted to see how prominent he was being, and that is... Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, 16 in the first half.
Considering the amount of kills he was getting, you know, like when he was playing in Boiler, he got that 3K, and then when he was on Balcony, he's had all these moments. He's been the guy just to be in the best spots right now. Yeah,
I mean, he was padding a little bit on these Glock push, but you're right. 16 is a big margin for just the one man. In high contrast with the lower side of Dignitas' scoreboard, Kievi just 5 so far in this one. Zeus 3 times as frags. Now, here we go. AZ's going to be challenged by Na'Vi, and actually, with just 5 points of health, still manages to make an impact. Takes Edward down and out, but Guardian again. Is he going to do it 2 rounds in a row, or 2 pistol rounds in a row? He got 3 in the last time. He's going to try and do the same thing again. It's Zeus who follows suit, and it does look like they have been given control of the site. Flamey continuing where Guardian left off, and we are just going to be seeing
that
Kievi.
bomb. It's in second mid.
Oh, he has a whole lot of power here. Kievi, oh, not Guardian. 3 in the first, 3 in the second. He's a bit of a pistol meister, taking the light away from Edward, maybe. A
bit of a beast in that one. Straight up to the rifle, no messing around there. He's just going to be going for that. But wow, what a round. That could have been Kievi's as well, bearing in mind his position was good. I think someone either spotted or he knew that bomb was in second mid. It was just like, okay, they're all kind of lining up here.
So this is interesting. This is what Henry G gets so excited about, and this is what I get so scared about, is that we've got 4 rifles picked up second round from Na'Vi up against unarmored CTs. There's a whole lot of potential of wasted investment here.
But then again, we saw Dignitas doing something similar. They only had the UMP. That was it. They went for the 4 rifles as well. Then went into the kind of more SMG stuff. But this is the danger. You give a Deagle over towards the likes of MSL. Even if he gets 1 down, that's a rifle gone. Sure, it was the UMP, but that's still a lot of damage, you know, dealt already. And there's so many players lurking away in these close angles that you can do a lot of damage with.
Yeah, you know, you hold a CZ at an angle like that from Schneider, you can fall foul to this second round play from the unarmored CTs, and Flamey's trained right on his location. This would not go well for Schneider, it doesn't. As Flamey finds that one, AZ trying to get some sort of trade, but nothing going to come of it, and they know exactly where he's going to be. As it is going to be now 4 versus 3. Pimp could catch one here. Oh, doesn't find the head early. That's going to be a Na'Vi round, and that's going to be a neat one as well. Only losing the SMG, that could not have gone any better for Na'Vi.
Unless he didn't die.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose he could have. You're right, just going to ruin that one. But he is just going to... I assume he's going to be dropped something.
He could just go for
No, there's a rifle lying on the floor, I think.
If you wanted. I think there was a Galil there. Yeah, so they've upgraded to the rifles. But then again, you know, it's... I kind of wish they got an SMG, because they know that Dig aren't going to have anything to work with. So you might as well just buy a MAC-10 or, you know, or anything.
Well, we saw how well it worked before. You know, Dig got the two SMGs,
Pimp,
and
right?
it was Pimp who picked them up. But yeah,
I don't know.
Interesting, and it's working this way so far for
double
Na'Vi. And oh, that's beautiful. Just knocking them down. 3 Dignitas members down in the opening seconds of this round. And now it's all on to MSL, quaking in his boots, wondering where his teammates have evaporated to. And this one's going to be not too shortly following. Seized picks up the MSL and secures the 10th for Na'Vi, as they are going to be starting their T side with a bang, picking up the initial 3. And now Dignitas looking to pick up the rebuttal with rifles.
Absolutely love that. Considering Na'Vi were kind of doing the same when they stacked that side out as well, and then you saw Pimp getting all those kills. It's kind of nice to see it going the other way around, just saying, look, we don't need those SMGs, we'll do it in nades. It's easy. But still, as you said, rifle round coming in, this is the big one. This is the one that actually will matter a fair amount. I'm kind of curious to see how they line up for this. Already, Na'Vi showing a little presence towards Banana, but look at Kievi, straight down, switches up to the knife at the worst time possible. 2-for-1 trade to Na'Vi, they're going to break through. AZ quickly on the rotate, but Na'Vi hit the brakes. They're slowing it down, saying, all right, let's just make sure this is the right move. Now they're slowly starting to commit, edging forward, giving AZ the shot. He gets down 2. Na'Vi still heading through here. Sees and Edward walking in towards Pimp. He's got the timing perfectly. Sees going for the plant. He can peek through here, but no, he fakes it out and Sees gets the kill. That's massive. And now Schneider all alone.
That read from Sees just kind of, he actually cancelled the plant for that push, finds it, and now onto Schneider. Damage was done to Sees though, so 112 points of health between the two. That's easy maths, I'll take that. And now he has a crossfire to deal with. Time becoming an issue as well. He does have a kit, which gives him a little bit of extra breathing room, but I don't think he's going to take it, realizing there's nothing easy to be found, and just hoping to catch the exit from 1 or 2. Oh, beautiful. Edward aiding his teammates' escape, finds the frag as an extra, and that's going to be beautiful from Na'Vi as they acquire another round. That was a real test for Dignitas, and they do fail. And now Na'Vi could potentially start running away with this one. That's 4 consecutive rounds on the T side. Dignitas are going to be forced to, I was going to say forced to go with pistols, but I definitely just saw a cheeky Nova. Yeah,
I think Kiebi's just having a bad game. Like, he switched up to the knife at the
Silly
worst
errors,
time
yeah.
then.
Errors you would never see from Na'Vi, I think.
And it's rare from Kirby as well. Like, this guy was one of those kind of like, you know, big heavy hitters coming in, like some real talent there, but he's just having a mare of a game. But still, that trade at the start kind of signified how that round went. But let's look at MSL. Last time he did land one of these, took the rifle away early, but not going to have the same effect. And it looks like a bit of a rinse and repeat round. I wonder if we're going to see the same kills coming in. Flamey's in the similar spot as well.
Yeah, they're just going to be kind of banging their head against the door.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Schneider wins it this time.
Revenge is sweet. That was a nice little trade from Schneider. Catches a glimpse of someone in mid as well. But I don't know whether a Pimp and Kiebi are going to be able to deal with these 3 Na'Vi players surging in towards B. He does hear footsteps and his teammate's going to go down. I don't think Pimp's going to be able to do too much either. And no, AZ and Schneider then left. CZ and Nova between them as they know the bomb's going to be going down. And actually, if they could find something on Edward, that would be a little bit of a gift. But I think Edward's just going hunting. Schneider seizing the AK opportunity, dropped by Flamey not too long ago, and he's going to get away with the rifle. Actually, I say get away. Zeus is not too far on the hunt.
No, and that was smart from Edward, trying to take that rifle away from Schneider, making sure no one gets anything. But sadly, Schneider does escape, for his sake at least.
It's scary, actually.
Yeah, they're in literally every angle, let's bear in mind.
It's like Predator. They're all hunting him, and he's just going to be worming his way through the corridor. Guardian is going to be the one to pick it up, and that's going to be, I mean, salt to the wound for Dignitas. They're not being able to save. That's, I mean, it's kind of been the recurring theme so far in this game is whenever Dignitas have been trying to save, Na'Vi are going to be the ones bringing the pain. It's particularly Seized. I mean, he's done that. He's taken, like, what, 6, 7 rifles away from them on the exit, and now we see Guardian doing exactly the same thing. Now, though, 8-12 and back to the full buy for the CTs.
Yeah, we are going to see Guardian at least on the AWP this time, so curious to see how that one works out for him.
Yeah, let's have a little look as MSL, who has been battling for early banana control with the Deagle, this time has the M4 and is going to be doing exactly the same thing. Backing away, though, from the early nades from Na'Vi. And we are going to be seeing ourselves in a 3 versus 2 over on towards B. I'm not too sure whether Na'Vi want to try and push up. They are chancing it, hoping Guardian finds something early on. As there's a little bit of poultry massacre. This is going to slow down. Important round for Dignitas, though. Yet to see a win on the CT side here on Inferno.
Let's remember there's a lot of mollies still on the CT side as Guardian's going to get caught out there, and they're both going to exchange. And Guardian will get away with his life, but Dignitas can buy a lot of time. Still a smoke on Kiebi, still had a molly there, going to put him down. And look at the time. Na'Vi are playing this very close to the wire. They're going to have to force something maybe towards A, but even the players on A still have a little bit to work with. You can see those flashes slowing them down again. This could be quite a brute force round here. Guardian this low, he's going to have to create some opportunities for them. Pimp's playing far back on the site. They're basically saying to Na'Vi, all right, you're going to have to try and take the sides from us. We're going to play as deep as possible. Let's hope you can dig us out of it now. And here we go. Schneider's going to get the first shot there. Doesn't land it, but AZ's got his back. That's two coming in, but the split through arch does start to pay out.
And it's paying dividends. Look at that. 4 very quick frags for Na'Vi. Kjaerbye on the rotate. He's slow. And the bomb is actually going to be planted very, very soon by Seas. He had to go for a little retrieval mission. Is finally going to be punching in the digits, and that gave Kjaerbye time to get in position. Smoke deterring him for a second, though. The smoke's going to also indicate where... Oh, through this own smoke. Beautiful. Now he knows where the last player is. Surely he knows where he's on the site. What was he doing? Looking towards pit. Seas finds him. Could he not have worked out that with the bomb down, the only kind of possibility, maybe unsure of that bomb's location?
He's having a bad day, I think.
He's having a bit of a mare. And that's going to be 13 for Na'Vi. A real potential win there from Dignitas, and not going to be coming into fruition.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that. As you mentioned, like, don't get me wrong, you could probably plant.
I mean, hindsight is 2020. Yeah. We've got X-ray, we've got everything, but it felt like he had enough information to assume the last player was the planter. Maybe.
I'm not sure. We'd have to watch that back, see if he maybe caught something out, but still. 3-man stack towards B this time. We're seeing Dignitas spin a couple more players over there, but Na'Vi this time starting up second mid a little earlier, leaving the bomb all the way back by T-Spawn, not committing to too much early on, aside from just that little second mid presence, but C's going to crack open, and Kjaerbye just being bullied in this game, but look at that follow-up. C's gets another, finally put down by Schneider, but they know it's been a 3-man stack on B. They're already starting to plow through towards A. Pimp and AZ are going to be on a real receiving end here. Yeah, this is going to heat up fast. Fortunately, Flamey does get caught with his knickers around his ankles in that jump from balcony, and Edward causing even more damage. AZ, though, is the one keeping it level, and Schneider's going to push where it hurts. Now all on to Edward. He's only got 38 points of health. He's got 0, as it's going to be AZ who finds his 3rd in the round. That was just two-man all-stars there from Dignitas. It's going to be AZ with 3 and Schneider with 2, and that's going to be the 9th. An all-needed, much-needed first round on the CT side, then, for the Danish squad. Yeah, it took some time, bearing in mind, and considering how that started, that was all C's just going crazy on Banana, and then the saving grace coming into play, and really impressive stuff from AZ and Schneider to close that down in the end. But let's see how this one goes. Yeah. That's his deep banana smoke thrown. Different angle, different throwing. It's just the different timing to me, at least. It allows it to bloom perfectly. Yeah, exactly. So you get a little bit more time. You can actually gain control there without being challenged. So both players will push down. That's Kjaerbye and MSL. I think MSL... Oh, okay. Pardon? Excusez-moi. Second smoke throwing in, continuing to delay Na'Vi, and this is the best we've seen from either side in terms of taking early banana control. Pushing forward, we saw Na'Vi and Dignitas have struggles with it. This is the most success they've found with it. With Kjaerbye being the support. Where was he doing? He was staring at the wall. He was perfectly evading that flash. Dead again. And Kjaerbye goes down. He was just really interested in that brickwork there, as he was angled to be that trade-off if the flash came in, and with the flash, he just continued to stare at the wall. Now, though, numbers do favour Dignitas, and this is much needed again as we put them into double digits and start to close that gap. Na'Vi knocking on that 16's door. 40 seconds now. MSL and AZ are in good positions to deal with this bomb if it does choose to get committed towards B. In fact, I think that's actually going to be the backing off from Na'Vi. They're going straight back through mid. Flamey's the one who's made the call, saying, okay, guys, I've got a good feeling about A. Pimp and Schneider lying in wait, ready to receive. 20 seconds though. This is Na'Vi. They like to cut it fine, and this is going to be becoming more and more a problem as Schneider does take Guardian out. They do consider this push still. Edward's so pushed up that they almost have to commit, and they are going to do just that. There's the last 2 frags, and Dignitas really, really bringing important rounds home. 2 in a row then for them, and not losing too many men as well. Important to try and stabilize their economy. Yeah, it's a massive fact for them. You saw how low they've been running on utility. A couple of Famous coming in for them as well. I think that was in the hands of Pimp, if I'm not mistaken. So good to see them maybe building up a little more. But on the other side of things, Na'Vi going to go down to the Galil, or Galils, should I say. Edward and Flamey both picking them up. And looking maybe to brute force something out of this round. I'm not sure what they can achieve here, because let's bear in mind, B has been starting to be won out more and more by Dignitas getting that early control, but this time not going to get it, and you have to take their time. Yeah, limited nades as well for Na'Vi. Just seeing about, what is that, 3 flashes, 2 smokes, make it 3, excuse me. Yeah. As counting is hard. It's 4, isn't it? Yeah. You know, just go ahead and stop trying to do counting on air. But either way, Dignitas found some success with their early banana control. Not going to be doing the same again, but that deep smoke does keep Na'Vi in check.
And another slow one from the T side. 20 seconds was the time, and they finally got towards some sort of execute to the site, but they'd lost players very early on.
The danger here is with Na'Vi that when they run with so little utility like this, when they only have, let's say, 3 smokes there and a couple of flashes, when they commit, they have to commit. There's very few other options. Where you look on the other side, they're down to something similar, but still they're on the CT side. That clock will be slowly going in their favor. And especially when people are pushed up like this, they're going to have to check it or take the fight. You can see the flash being lined up. Kiebi going to try and set up MSL to catch out maybe the likes of Zeus, and he gets an inkling. Here we go. This is perfect. And he's going to have every single opportunity. Gets one, gets two, gets a third. MSL just saying no to that entrance on B. Now Pimp's come over. Kiebi's there, but Guardian all the way through on A. But time is of the essence. 18 seconds left, and Schneider is ready to cut off Seized.
Yeah, they're just playing the clock beautifully here. Dignitas on Schneider does actually fumble. Fortunately, Pimp isn't going to be making the same error, and then Guardian is left with just 8 seconds left, trying to do some damage. Can't get the bomb down. I think he knows that. 4 seconds. He's not going to be able to have enough time, and instead going to try and take Pimp out of the running. Doesn't even manage that one, as Pimp's just, oh, tell a lie. Trying to dance it, and it's going to be, again, Guardian and rather Na'Vi taking rifles away when they're in these dire circumstances. I don't think it's going to have too much of an effect on Dignitas, even an AWP being picked up for Pimp, and that's going to be intriguing to see where he just does choose to take that.
He's got a decent spawn towards, well, A, so hopefully we get to see him maybe challenge out there. But Guardian could be the one opting up towards a rifle, and then the Tech-9s to follow. So, interesting choice for Na'Vi. Everyone's going to go see what they can do here, but look at those deep nades coming down. Na'Vi having none of it. They've gone through second mid. They expected this, and Pimp finds Zeus. He's going to expect a flood of more players. Schneider's there, but Guardian getting the double. That's massive. That's 2 guns loose, and they're more than retrievable. Edward lurking down below. 2 players in front. Gets 1, gets 2, looks for the 3rd as well, and Kiebi has fallen, and that is a massive turn of events here, as they will recover the guns, get the AWP, and that was just filthy. You know what, Na'Vi, they don't like playing this new style, this kind of like down and dirty Tech-9s, SMGs, but my God, when they do it, they don't have to go bad.
That is insane. Like that round alone may very well have determined the winner of this game. Na'Vi now sitting on 14. Nothing really for Dignitas. In fact, oh my God, they've invested. This round does mean quite literally everything for Dignitas. They have to pick this round up, and they've tried to kind of follow in Guardian's footsteps, the 1 rifle and the armored pistol. Let's see if they can kind of go ahead and do one better. MSL has all of the weight on his shoulders with that FAMAS. A couple of flashes to get him in. It's AZ who has them. And they are starting to go towards the rifle. That's one positive, I guess, if you're trying to find a silver lining for the Dignitas Cloud. That's an indicator for Kiebi. He's going to be backing away, forced away by the smoke, and Flamey's the one that's looking for that initial entrance, but smart from Dignitas. They're going to be making that rotate, but also keeping these tight angles. They don't want to go down before the T's do swarm in, and talk of swarm, here they come. All holding hands, all 5 of them coming on in now. Still no blood drawn. It's actually going to be Na'Vi who go down first. AZ was the one to do that. Nice from Kiebi. Dignitas! Oh, Kiebi finds 2 through on towards Na'Vi, and it's going to be fortunately Seized, who does go down after taking 2. Guardian isn't done yet, though. AZ is the one to finish it. And Dignitas, they needed to pick up that round, and they'd go ahead and just throw it back into Na'Vi's court.
You know what? Kiebi's had a bit of a dire game for a man of his caliber, but you can see glimmers of what he can truly play like in these instances. There's the first. You see the stunner following up. Just real beautiful stuff. In the end, didn't get the 3rd, but still, that was a big round to turn. As you said, they invested into that, so they had to let that pay off. And now, let's see if they can keep this pace up. They've got the opportunity. Na'Vi have nothing. Well, P250's a flash and a smoke. So,
oh God, Jesus. The chicken just caused Pimp to pull the trigger. I think
panic.
He did.
Sheer panic. But yeah, this should be clean. There is no reason this shouldn't be clean, and Schneider doing well there. He's been playing from that bedroom spot more and more often, and there we go. There's the mow down. Nice and clean from Dignitas. And that's exactly what they should be doing.
Again, comes down to those 2 very CSGO-esque rounds. The 1 rifle and the 4 armored pistols. Yeah. Those 2 rounds back-to-back have really thrown this this game into a spin, as we now sit at 13-14. Both teams now with a real shot at picking this one up. I'm seeing, again, a very big number on the side of AZ. 25 frags. It's gone rather unnoticed from us. We need to kind of highlight that 25 frags alongside Seized on 28. Na'Vi all sitting pretty in the frags, as, of course, these rounds have always been close. Win or lose for Na'Vi, they've taken bodies with them. Dignitas establishing early dominance on B, but that's completely irrelevant considering that bomb's location. Na'Vi dropping it off towards alt mid and going to start trying to take some bodies down with them on A.
Yeah, and we have seen AZ return from B. He kind of escorted MSL and Kiebi down towards the bottom banana, just make sure that they don't get bullied through. He's now been able to return, joined by Schneider, by CT Arch, and then we've got Pimp down by Pit now. Pimp earlier was kind of keeping eyes on those apps with the AWP, but backed away from that. But curiously enough, Edward and Flamey are both there. So now he needs to keep control of that, otherwise Schneider could be overrun. But once again, Na'Vi love running this clock down low, but with MSL and Kiebi in that position, they know they're not going to push there, and AZ just lays in wait. Here we go, perfect coordination, and AZ with the stunning follow-up. That's the sort of caliber of play you can expect from that man, and Schneider adjusts around well, expecting the play through apps, and now they draw up close. It's 14-14.
Going to keep coming back down to that one round.
Look at the money as well.
It's going to be Na'Vi in a real dire circumstance now. Dignitas have turned this game on its head, and all because of this kind of topsy-turvy force buys we saw. Topsy-turvy. I'm just crazy at this point.
I'm just crazy.
I'm just crazy.
Oh god, they've done it again just without the rifle.
Okay, then this is going to be it for Na'Vi. They've most definitely committed into this round. They're not interested in any draws. They don't want to be seeing 15-15. They're fighting for 16. It's going to be a whole load of nades and the Tech 9 armor as they're looking to surge out of apartments. And Schneider's going to be the one to greet them.
Oh my god.
Just getting onto balcony in the nick of time. There is going to be a smoke, but fortunately a Molotov straight away locking them out. You say locking them out. No, they're not. They're pushing straight through, and it is going to be Schneider who falls first. AZ was questioning. He only found one. This could go horribly wrong. Oh, Dignitas have lost control of A. Bomb goes in as well, so now time becoming a factor. Kjerbo is sprinting as fast as he can from B. MSL and Pimp just waiting as they are going to be throwing out what nades they have left to try and take this one back. They cannot afford to see this round slip away, and Na'Vi have made the best out of an armored Tech 9. MSL trunk down to 34 with just an 80. He is going to try and push through, but Guardian's there to greet him. There we go. And Na'Vi have picked up what looked like a very, very unlikely round. With 4 people still standing, they recover as many rifles as they can.
They've got 4 rifles
out and Dignitas. Congrats to Na'Vi for investing into that round. I don't think Dignitas were expecting the Tech 9 armor into that one.
I didn't expect it to work. Like, don't get me wrong, I expected maybe Schneider to go down because he had he's got the silent stem floor, he can easily get overwhelmed. But then he had backup, but then just got everything got dismantled. But still, this is the important round now. 15-14. Dig need one more just to keep it close, and Na'Vi from the very verge of doom coming back. MSL, run away, buddy. You just got burnt alive. He's down so low. And already so much damage done by Na'Vi, and they've got B control this time. The map's theirs. Dig don't have any control for once.
Yeah, no, MSL getting cooked up quite nicely. Good Danish pastry. Now it's going to be MSL who actually continues to push forward. It's just 37 points of health, and he's still going on the aggress. Questionable choices being made, and Guardian is the first man to punish him for it.
See, now, the only time he's done this is when he's been trying to bait them in towards playing towards B, when he knows that AZ's there. Because AZ will often rotate off, but look at this, Na'Vi reading that well. They're already getting the hell out of there. Maybe looking over towards A, where only Pimp and Schneider are waiting. Now, don't get me wrong, Schneider's been having a big performance from this side. But this many players from Na'Vi here, this could be very, very difficult. And look at them wrapping around CT Arch. No one's watching it now. Schneider already back towards Pimp's on site. Oh, this could be huge. Na'Vi, let's see what you got here. AZ is en route. It's going to get tough.
Right down to the wire, just as Na'Vi likes it. The 28 seconds left. That's a big threat from AZ. Schneider as well chiming in. And now just 20 seconds, and that bomb is not down. The T side really keeping it interesting.
Oh, Schneider
completely confirms it. 15-15 will be the result as we're going to be going all the way into overtime. That was this game has constantly been a bit of a question mark. We said it was going to be a question, you know, how well do Dignitas perform, already picking up wins against Hellraisers and Mouse. Na'Vi now a step above. Looks like they're up to the challenge, up to the task, and if Kjerbo was hitting a couple more shots, a couple of less, poor decisions, we could have very well seen a Dignitas over-timeless win.
But to be fair, Schneider's been absolutely unreal. Look at this play at the end. That was great, that was great. No one's even challenging him right now. That's the worrying factor. They're also bothered by Pimp on site. He had complete free reign to do as he pleased. So now while they warm up, I've got to say, Schneider was the big difference in the end. He started to really come into his own for me. And then you add in the AZ factor. Those two, really heavy hitters.
Yeah, everything can change though, it's people have bad halves, bad maps. Maybe just going to be coming into this overtime with a fresh mind. See how much a team can change, and I always wonder how much a team will change, going into an overtime. Like, there's always this mind games, like, are you going to do the same thing you just did, or is it going to be, is something different about to happen? Is something different about to transpire? That's always something that intrigues me, and It does seem like both sides are up to the task of 4 spies. I'm pretty sure we saw 2 from Na'Vi and 1 from Dignitas with these kind of, not even 1 rifle, 4 pistols, but that Tech 9 buyout from Na'Vi really was the saving grace for them.
It's kind of scary when they do it, but it worked for both teams. Both times they've been forced onto that sort of platform, they have actually come out on top of it, but still it's kind of a worrying state of affairs. But we are going to be seeing these guys getting ready to get this one started up, and we'll be getting back underway. Dignitas had a really good, let's say, T side. Very slow start on towards the CT side of things, but towards the end really found their footing, whereas Na'Vi had the smoother of rides, at least in my eyes, in that regard, but then just kind of let a couple of rounds slip. So I'm excited to see how this one goes down. Both teams now back on the 4-buy, of course, as it is overtime. And let's see how this one goes.
Okay then, jumping straight on into the action, we are going to be seeing no AWP in play. Neither Guardian or Pimp is interested, of course. 10k starting money does make an AWP a real investment, and demonstrating that Pimp's quite comfortable on the rifle. And hello, AZ's going to have an element of surprise, only taking 1 though. Took him a while to connect the shots, and that's going to cost him. And Schneider, in the meantime, does go down to Edwards. So Na'Vi being gifted 2 early frags. They're going to try and push where it hurts now. And
now Pimp has been playing on site almost religiously to this point. They've got to expect it. I think
he saw him, definitely.
Yeah, I think Flamey even saw him there. The flash will come out. MSL's on the rotate, but Seized holding that smoke really well. He'll get the drop towards MSL, and that's going to be the go signal. Pimp, position known, shouldn't do any damage. There's the playthrough. Now Kiebi's just out on his own in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and that was a case of Na'Vi happily accepting what Dignitas were giving them there with those 2 early frags. Schneider going aggressive to peek ult mid, not necessarily a necessary peek.
High risk, high reward, right?
Yeah.
AZ had a good spawn for it. He, his movement was absolutely sublime. He pretty much got there at the same time as the tease. So if maybe he'd hit the second shot, that's more than worth it. And then bearing in mind there was 2 other players there as well. If Schneider had hit his, they weren't expecting it.
It's a lot of ifs and buts, you're right.
It is, but it's high risk reward play, and I guess for the first round on their seed side, why not try it?
Yeah, and if it had worked, where did Na'Vi sit there? Like, wait a second, why are they so aggressive, so comfortable? We did see that round then go the way of Na'Vi. And so they're back into the fray. Where does this leave Dignitas? They're going to be maybe kind of keeping it a little slow, a little bit more quiet. As look at that. So doesn't go for it for the first round when he has the kind of the freedom of 10k. When his team has just lost the round, he just decides to try something different, picking up the AWP and going to be taking the long route to peek from boiler side.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. He's had some good rounds with the AWP so far. Mostly I was kind of impressed by him towards Banana more than mid, but he does have a lovely little boost taken out from Schneider. Kind of the other side of what you can do with the Banana there, but gonna have to back out of that as Na'Vi do have control of second mid, and they could have played off the back, but choose not to.
Yeah, so good ideas coming in from Dignitas. There's no denying they spent a whole lot of time working on a couple of pages for their strat book.
Oh, this is quick from Na'Vi. This is very different. They're working in towards CT Arch, but Seized has the bomb on his own by quad. This could be dangerous.
I like what Pimp's holding here. He could catch out 2, just catches 1, took the legs of another. AZ was the one to finish where he started, and now just Edward and Guardian. Again, Pimp got a good read on it. AZ's the one to take that frag, and Edward left to his own devices. Just finds 1, isn't going to be given any more, as that was going to be 3 for AZ in that round. He hit 30. He's definitely been demonstrating the power he possesses. And we are going to be seeing the equalizer from Dignitas.
Yeah, one thing I really liked them from Dig was kind of the counter smokes they put down as well to really define those fights against the T side. And we rarely see Na'Vi speeding up that much as well. So that's a really nice addition to them, but just couldn't land those shots in the end. And AZ doing what AZ does. Let's keep that in mind. But he's got a good spawn here. I'm curious to see if he goes aggressive. We've seen it every now and then. He'll go for like just a crazy opening shot. And, okay, I thought he was going for it then, but look at the nade there. 2 nades call out Guardian. He's down to 23 already. That could be a big difference here.
I mean, for sure. That's a player really forced to play a lot more passive than he perhaps would. Guardian going to be at the back, at the tail end of the assault. There's no doubt about that now. But Na'Vi not got any early plans for it. Oh, hang on. I thought he was about to throw up a foolish Molotov there. Considering Na'Vi have most definitely got this assault on the back burners. Then again, MSL goes down through smoke. And, I thought maybe Na'Vi could get a little bit of an ignition, a little bit of extra pace. Wind beneath their wings, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. As they're just going to continue to slow things down. AZ, on the other hand, is ready, lingering on the edge of that smoke, just hoping to catch a glimmer of Edward, and that flashbang's going to be not what he was bargained for, hoping the smoke stays just a second longer. It does. It's going to be the cover he needed. Now he can catch two with their pants around their ankles, but no, Edward swings around, finds AZ, and it comes down to Pimp.
There we go, but he's going to be overwhelmed. Surely Flames can get this. Oh, he just about misses it there, Pimp. Flamey will get through. That's A open, or at least, should I say, quad, because Schneider could have caught a glimpse, and he could have maybe caught off that bomb. But now Edward, well and truly aware, he knows where these players were. Bombs down, Kiepi on the precipice here, trying to peek through that smoke. Not going to have a real shot in towards that one as Seas does find him, but good positioning from Schneider here, going the long way around. Does get Edward down eventually, but I doubt he'll get much more than this unless they go for the challenge here.
And we know Na'Vi, they're not a team to be fools.
Fine time.
It's going to be Flamey that's find it. Just making sure that they were going to trade it out nicely as they do keep that half nice and tidy. 17-16 then, as we are going to be swapping sides. Na'Vi now on the CT side. Intrigued to see if they do anything particularly outstanding. You know, like the Dignitas first round where they went for those early pushes. Are Na'Vi going to, you know, I don't think that's something that Na'Vi are particularly fond of. They're quite happy to just stick to what works, and we'll see. We are just seeing them warm up right now. I really want a big, like, bright Comic Sans text on the front that just says warm up, so everyone is aware.
And you specifically want Comic Sans?
It has to be Comic Sans, and it has to have, like, I don't know, a weird color combination. I'm thinking,
can it be
like,
that word art back in the day,
word
like
art,
the
perfect.
rainbow fade one.
Comic Sans word art.
Oh, that sounds great.
And it needs to say what. If someone could mock that up for me, I'll see if I can get that approved by our graphics department. Yep. I'm thinking like maybe a couple of like clip arts from Microsoft Word as well. You know, like the kind of like I don't know,
like maybe a clock on there, like
and a man reading like a newspaper or something.
A book,
because they're warming up. Oh no, a guy on a treadmill. Perfect.
Yes, warming up.
Warming up.
Perfect.
There we go. All right, so I'm going to submit that to our graphics department, but we are going straight away back into the action here on our second half of our first game of the day of our overtime between Na'Vi and Dignitas. Lauren, why don't you guide us through the opening movements from Dignitas now on the T side?
The opening movements, that's a very unique way of phrasing it. I'll do my best for you here.
Dankeschön.
Jesus. But Na'Vi with the early control towards B. C's going to give it a peek, but it looks like Dig. Let's refresh ourselves as to what they were doing so well on their T side before was their play through towards quad. It was extraordinarily good, extraordinarily strong. You can see how much utility is being placed down there. They've got 4 players present on this site just because of Pimp, and that is exactly what I wanted to see. But if Flamey can buy the time, if Seized comes back around, Dignitas' initial play here gets thrown to the wind. They tried to force Na'Vi to read into that play towards quad, but look at them reading the book back, and Zeus is right round beside them. He's going to get down one. He's just playing the game now. He doesn't need to re-peek. He can leave his teammates to lock that down. Edward's en route, and Dig are just stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
And that is pretty terrifying, and one of those rocks is the Greek god Zeus. Just going to be sitting around T-Apps. He's got no problems whatsoever in just forcing Dignitas into this kind of paranoia in leaving Banana, checking every possibility, like really just forced into a very dire scenario where it's not necessarily a case of picking up the round, more a case of survival. Now, it does look like Zeus is giving them a little bit of room to breathe. This is a round that surely Dignitas aren't going to have a go at.
Oh, Guardian's actually rotating though.
Easy. He's all considering it. 19 seconds. He can't surely making the call that the site's clear. Just check your corners. It's going to be Edward who does make it very clear that the site is not for sale. It's Flamey who actually finds 2. Edward just the distraction in this scenario, and he gets the 3rd as well. Nice controlled M4 play, and that's going to put 18 now. 1 away from Na'Vi picking up this win here in the ESL ESEA Pro League.
I love the way he's just flung himself in there, like mid-air.
Hang on.
There's 2 of you. I can't do anything about this. Oh well. Exactly. Just kind of threw himself to the wind. But anyway, 18-16. Na'Vi in the lead here. Good read into that last play. Almost over-reading the situation at quad, but then adjusting well off the back. And now we are going to see Pimp picking up the AWP, looking for a little bit of action early on. Not going to find it though. They boost it up towards Banana, try and clear out, make sure no one's pushing down or by card just yet. And Flamey playing it smart, holding a slightly more passive angle. But already Kiebi and Schneider starting to look towards A.
Important round for Dignitas. Could not really get more important than this. Chances of a victory here put into their hands with this first 5 scenario. No blood drawn just yet. It's going to be a case of what Edward and Guardian can find on either sides of mid. Kiebi investing that Molotov into corner, clearing as much as they can without the loss of a Dignitas man. Guardian, though, is going to catch a glimpse through that smoke. Is he going to push through? He considered it. Hearing footsteps now pushing through CTR. Schneider potentially going to get caught off here. Is this... Oh, they're just doing a dance. And now Schneider's not even expecting this one. This has been going completely the wrong way. Topsy-turvy is what's unfolding here on the A site now. Dignitas do have the numbers advantage courtesy of AZ2 swift frags. And Flamian Seized are now on the rotate from B.
This is perfect. Again, every time Dig do this sort of play, they're so good at getting around towards the A. So whether they're splitting CT Arch or working through apps, it's paid off well. Now the retake's on. We saw Flamey's capability. We know Cease can play some really big games, but I just don't see them being able to find a route back in here, especially with them dug in so well. Time running out. This should be Dignitas' round. They are going to go for it, though. Flamey going to start heading in. Pip misses the shot. It's going to get a little more dangerous, but it's just down to Seized. Time is running out. He doesn't have a kit. He needs to back out of this one, as Easy will close it down.
Pimp darting to safety.
Just.
God, what? He either did some crazy mathematics or thought the round wasn't going to end, or rather he wasn't going to see the end of the round. And okay, sigh of relief as he does survive with that AWP with just 4 points of health. That's actually, that could have gone horribly wrong considering the funds. But either way, we'll stop doing mathematics and go back into the game. Dignitas survive and are looking to take us into a second overtime here. As it all, again, comes down to how they structure this attack. Those early nades are just going to be taking big chunks out of MSL. So he does get tickled down to 44 points of health. Still feel like we have seen a distinct lack of the pace from Dignitas. You remember those earlier rounds?
This is nice, though. I like Edward's position here, actually. Considering every time we've seen Kirby and Schneider playing through apps like this, they have gone towards quad. Edward's in a great little spot here, just up by that mini balcony. He's going to have the first shot towards Schneider, and still gets taken down? That's a huge mistake.
Schneider does actually go down, though. Fortunately, the damage from Edward did enable that nade to take him out, but Pimp's AWP finds Guardian. That's a huge frag, as it does look like Dignitas have managed to get some sort of leg work. What's the expression?
Leg up?
Leg up, thank you very much. Legway was what I was looking for there.
Oh.
Legway, yeah. Either way, Kirby has managed to keep Zeus distracted on A. I'm allowed one brain fart per cast. That was
headway,
it. Headway and
room,
leg work, leg room. Oh well. Important round, Lauren.
Yeah. Pick back up, buddy.
No,
20 seconds.
Here I go. 20 seconds and Dignitas have really been quiet. They have to go fast. Zeus just sitting on Graveyard. And actually, if he plays this right, if he plays the clock perfectly, we could be seeing Na'Vi pick up this round. Yes, they have the numbers, but time is against them. Zeus could be Na'Vi's best friend, as he's surely going to be hearing the bomb go in. He just needs to check it. Kirby, the babysitter, keeps Dignitas alive with that one. He was thinking, this is a little too easy. This is a little too fortunate for us, and it's going to be then Flamey who's just left to try and take some rifles away for fun, and it's not going to happen. AZ does get it, and we are going to be going into our second overtime.
Now, do you remember when I said I had a chest infection at the start of the day, and I was really hoping for some nice quick games? Woof. My God, I'm not getting that, am I?
We'll do like a roast. Oh, yes! That's exactly what I requested.
We just need the clip art now to follow up, but this is perfect.
That's a start. That's a start.
I like the way it's not even centered towards like the hate, you know, like
oh yes, that's
AZ.
hideous.
That makes it really nice. Oh.
Any kind of
I love it.
Any typographers also will note the kerning between the W and the A is disgusting. Look at that. Look at the distance between the W and the A. That is so ugly. I love it.
Like the R and M is kind of touching a bit in comparison.
Oh, that my friends is perfect.
It's like W arm up.
W arm up.
It's the new thing.
That's exactly what that is.
Yep.
So now everyone is aware that this is in fact a warm up.
Yeah.
The ESL graphics department works fast, Lauren.
Exactly. That's delivery time for you boys.
That's what we needed. Good resource delivery times.
Beautiful work, guys. Beautiful.
And now we are, of course, going away from that W arm up.
Oh, I missed the W arm up.
Hang on a second. We've misplaced a Dignitas member. Can we get it back?
Gone?
Where's our warm up?
Thank you. You're getting nervous. Oh, good old overtimes. Double overtime though. This is a really good game.
How are your lungs holding up, Lauren?
Oh, very poorly. Very poorly.
You are
painful.
Ill. Yeah.
Yes. I'm probably going to go home and pass out for about 2 days after this.
It's very distracting, actually, hearing you lose your lungs while I'm trying to cast.
I'm really sorry that
If you could try and die quietly, that would be really kind of
I'll walk away next time.
Yes, please do. Thank you.
I'll put my W arm up.
A lot of love and respect then for Lauren, who is still bringing you some CS despite being halfway to death. Yeah.
Yep.
And with that said, you be quiet for a second. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this first round.
Sweet, Alex, take it away.
Here we go then. Na'Vi are going to be putting an AWP into play on their CT side. It's something that we have seen a couple of question marks surrounding it for Pimp, sometimes opting for it, sometimes feeling more comfortable on the rifle. It's not even a question of spawns, because he has got fast AWP spawns and still opted for the rifle, nor is it a question of money. Fast Flash does completely lock Guardian out of that early presence in middle. That's a good start from Dignitas. It's all a good start. Schneider and MSL are making a whole lot of room for themselves over towards Apps. They're going shopping. It doesn't look like anything catches their fancy because they're looking to leave through Boiler. That is a very nice flash from Edward. I'm going to take note, as he's going to be looking to try and peek towards quad. Doesn't look like anything's going to come of it because it's Zeus who does all the work for him, making the call that damage is done, and it most definitely is. AZ down to 5, as well as MSL completely out of the running in this round. Molotov could cause problems for Guardian, but look at that, backs away through the fire and flames while finding a frag. Beautiful from the Na'Vi boys so far, and the rest of Dignitas have taken a beating as well.
Yeah, and look at him, he's still going strong here. That's his second. Almost going to find Pimp just off the timing alone. Going to back away, adjust, and get the hell out of dodge, bearing in mind how low AZ is. This round has thoroughly slipped away from Dignitas. Unless they can do something magical. AZ going to town even with just 5 HP, but it's down to him. 1v3. He'll catch off Edward. He's got 28 seconds to do some wizardry there as Seized will lock down the round and get the first one on the board in the second go of overtime towards Na'Vi.
Dignitas I'll look to try and change something up, potentially. The point I was trying to make not too long ago was that, do you remember at the start, Dignitas' T-side, they were having these kind of fast quad pushes that were finding relative success? We haven't seen one of them since overtime. They've kind of hit a bit more of a slower pace. I say slower pace. AZ, 1 frag away from 40 now into our second overtime. He's definitely no shortage of frags for the Dane. And actually, just as I ordered, just as the doctor ordered, it's going to be a fast push then on towards A, and I don't think Na'Vi are ready.
And Guardian isn't even here. Normally he's the player helping him out on the A side, but now Edward and Zeus are left with all to do, but they're pushed back on the side. This could still work out. And look at that crossfire coming in. 2 for Zeus, 1 for Edward, slowing down this Dignitas play until then. MSL and Kiebi finally get towards the side itself, but who's coming knocking? It's Guardian. He knows where Kiebi is, but it's MSL with the bomb, and it's Flamey putting the pressure on.
The bomb's still locked down, actually. They're taking their time with this one. That's almost wise because it has kept Na'Vi's rotate kind of in check, getting a couple of numbers down before they consider being vulnerable with that plan. MSL is now going to be doing that and does cut the time down to 35. Nice from Kiebi. All comes down to Flamey then, and he is going to be completely white. Decides to continue into this 1v2. Desperately trying to find the head of MSL. Not going to happen. As Dignitas do manage to keep it close. Very nice from MSL and Kiebi, completing those 5 frags between the 2 of them. Yeah,
really good setup, very last minute then. I don't know if it's good lucky timing. The Guardian was on B that time, but whatever it was, you asked for that play to come out, and there it was.
Thanks, Dignitas. Appreciate that.
Thanks, guys. But sadly enough, Edward not having much luck actually shutting them down on that play. Every time they've gone quad, he's done well elsewhere, whether it be retakes or anything like that. He's been fine, but he's been a little quiet when they actually made that play. But again, look at Edward now, not having a great deal to work with, and Guardian positioning early towards B.
Hoping to shut down MSL, who has been fighting for B control, or rather banana control, both on CT and T, and they line up! Just going to take the one. Fortunately, I think it was MSL ducking under that shot, as that could have gone horribly wrong. It looks like a second is not going to be given. AZ, he takes 40. That's his 40th frag now of the game, and it's an important one at that. Takes the AWP out from Na'Vi, and Seized isn't interested in that one. He does walk over his teammates' remains as he tries to kind of fill in where he left off. But Dignitas, they don't care about B. 2 players from Na'Vi need to pull up their socks and start running because Edward is about to meet the majority of Dignitas.
He is just waiting out in those apps, and Kiebi unwittingly knowing, just edging towards him, and it will be Edward to just dome him down, and now it's a 2v2. It has to return for the rifle, but MSL with the bomb are going to have to take a little bit of a longer route, and Edward in this position will make it so much more awkward as Cease can now help him out, and this could be around, but Schneider still breaks through. Bomb goes down. Edward wants a cheeky beat, but he knows he's in trouble here, and that crossfire comes out to play.
That felt like a lot of luck then on for Dignitas. That was a round they could have done a lot neater and tidier. Fortunately, Na'Vi not managing to finish where they started with Zeus on that Mag 7 in apps. Very nice from him, using that in that CQB environment where it does, of course, flourish. And that is going to be Dignitas, this time with the advantage on the half. Na'Vi picked up 2 last time. And now it's going to be a case of how much Dignitas can acquire over on the CT side of things.
wait and see, of course. So far, as you pointed out, a very big performance going through for AZ. He's been having a bit of a monstrous game. The 40 was the scoreline we recorded him hitting already. But I don't think that's too much of a surprise to many.
Your poor lungs, Lauren.
Yeah, it's painful right now, but thank you for keep reminding me. It's good. Helps.
It's a warm-up, by the way, guys. Just, don't know if there's a graphic or something. Oh, never mind. We are going to be going in.
Are we?
Oh, hang on.
That confused me. I thought I was having like a migraine, then I was like, what is that flash?
It can't be. It must still be a warm-up. They're fucking USPs, yeah. Okay, we are. There we go. There we go. Even I'm getting confused. This is why the fantastic new graphic is going to help us.
Yeah.
There we go.
Everyone talked about PGL's production quality, but they didn't have that.
Where's your Comic Sans warm-up? That's the real question.
That's a real deal right there.
I want to know whose like job it was to create Comic Sans. Like, did someone go and say, create the most unattractive font you possibly can that will be used on school projects for generations?
And they nailed it.
They absolutely did.
Alrighty, we are live into this one. So 20 rounds currently sitting with Team Dignitas now on their CT side, Na'Vi on their T side with 19. Let's see who's going to kick off this half with a bang.
Now Pimp does have the AWP, so that bang has been found, but nothing's going to be coming of it just yet. MSL is the one who brings it with the nade. Zeus then is going to be forced to sit and watch as this round does continue to transpire. Pimp relocating, and actually it does look like he may meet a couple of terrorists not too far down the line. There are two players now in apps, Edward and Flamey, having a chat before they do start to hunt this frag. Guardian's about to challenge Pimple. He went for it. Did actually tag him up, brought him down to 28, caught him, clipped him through the concrete. And that's going to be a sign of things to come potentially for Dignitas. Na'Vi, though, are operating at a loss.
Oh, Guardian's going back for more. Pimp going to bait it out, allow Schneider the chance to go for this one. And there we go. Guardian just gets gifted the kill. Pimp, what are you doing? Schneider, though, now has to make up for the most of it. And he will do. At least they get the favorable trade here, 2 for 1. But that was a real topsy-turvy exchange.
The fact that Guardian knew he'd hit him, so he only had to go for the legs of Pimp for the second shot as well. Quick read from him. And Na'Vi are still a little worse off for it. It's going to come down to Kievi, who hasn't had the best game. Maybe he can redeem himself with this B hold. He's holding the perfect angle, expecting to find one, but no. Flamey swings and does hit it. 2 for him, 1 for C's in response, and now it's a 1v1 for AZ, who is a mile and a half away. C's is going to have plenty of time. Perfect. Just enough time for the bomb to go down for C's, and now it comes down to what AZ can do. Off the back of this one, nice play from AZ. C's unfortunately unable to find cover in the nick of time, and it's going to be an easy defuse then for the 41 fragger. It's a weird number to see on a scoreboard.
Yeah, you just don't really see it like that, do you?
Was it Hyper who hit 50
for
their e-battle game?
Yeah,
like
on Train?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that ridiculous.
That was insane.
My God. But yeah, really big round, to be fair. It's 21 to 19. Team Dignitas starting to get a little bit of momentum, maybe starting to feel a little more comfortable here. And it does seem as though we'll be getting this round started up. Looking at this. Up here, Pimp. Going back in on the AWP, Guardian as well. And we are going to see that 3-man play over towards B to kick off with AZ supporting them out there. But normally he does jump off towards the end. But Pimp going on the quick shot across, but doesn't catch anything yet.
Did do damage to Guardian, down to 17. And actually, look at this aggression from Dignitas. They found it on their T side, and looks like they're going to be doing exactly the same on the CT. Forcing Na'Vi into a bit of a corner now, down to 2. Or, excuse me, 3. Man, I've been struggling to count today.
That's right, I can barely breathe, so you're doing better as a human overall.
I'll take that, yeah. My breathing is significantly stronger at this point. Now, though, there's a whole lot of nades left. I mean, 3 Molotovs left on the CT side. They can delay Na'Vi to no end, and especially if they do choose to push out through mid, because as soon as that smoke does subside, there's going to be Molotovs and angles held. Pimp this time, 2 shots, and finds the kill onto Guardian. And now it's just going to be Edward and Flamey desperately trying to find something before Dignitas. All that hard work, it's going to net them that 22nd round. 35 seconds, and Na'Vi look to have changed their minds. I think AZ's kind of lingering between the two sites, waiting for the call to be made. You can see him on the map there towards CT spawn, and I think the call is very quickly going to be made as soon as this nade is released. In fact, even before it, AZ's realizing it, that the A site is kind of feeling a little too quiet, and 18 seconds left. Here comes Na'Vi's push.
Yeah, AZ's very close by. He can pop flash through that. And actually, the smoke is awful. Edward just about makes it through, but waiting carefully and patiently was Kiebi. Now just Edward alive. That's AZ to close it down. And Team Dignitas picking up a very well-needed win here as they were sitting down in 5th, taking the victory over 3rd. It's pretty damn impressive.
Dignitas really did need that. That was a real test for them. That was a little litmus test to see how they can hold up to a top 3 team currently residing in the Pro League. Na'Vi falling on Inferno. You said already that Dignitas Inferno held some good numbers, and they've actually proven that, you know, regardless of other kind of factors, that they do have a good Inferno and a team that I think there's still a lot of room for improvement with Dignitas. Like, we keep seeing a couple of things like Kiebi, a couple of hits and misses, a couple of misreads on their executes. But other than that, picking up a win against Na'Vi, big start to today's Pro Leagues games.
Yeah, really good beginning for them, and hopefully a good sign of things to come. If the other games are like this, I may be dead by the end of it, quite literally. But I assure you, they'll be fantastic to watch at least. Yeah,
indeed. I mean, a quick run through of what is coming up as well. If you did miss it, we didn't have a time to go through what was going to be coming up later in the show. So, for you guys at home, if you haven't checked the schedule, we're going to be seeing a lot of Titan in this one, up against mouz, no less. We're going to be seeing 2 games of mouz versus Titan. The second game coming up right after this will be them going up against mouz on Cash, then up against later it's going to be on Mirage. And in between, sandwiched between the mouz versus Titan series, we are going to be seeing Titan versus Fnatic playing out on Overpass as well. So a whole load of CS and a whole load of mouz versus Titan coming up this evening. It's going to be great to see how Titan perform, because Titan actually so far looking pretty good in the standings for the Pro League. And if they could pick up 3 wins today, 2, not too bad either, but they could go horribly wrong for mouz if it doesn't shape up well for them today. So guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we're back, we're going to start with mouz versus Titan over on Cash. Don't go. Hey guys, it looks like the game starts a little prematurely, but we're going to go ahead and play catch up as it is Titan versus mouz Sports. And welcome to Intel Extreme Masters as well.
Intel Extreme Masters looks so different these days. It's like Cash.
But as I was saying, Titan up against mouz. This is the second round. Looks like it's about to be the third. Titan picked up the pistol. mouz looking to force back in off the back of their Chris J Scout, which you usually expect to see.
Always gotta love it, right? And
looks like they did not find too much on their second round buy.
Joe, I'm really excited by this. Is the first time I get to see Scream in this lineup as well. Now, I'm a big fan of that man when he goes off on those tears. It's a beautiful thing to watch, so very excited to see it on Cash as well. Quite a name-heavy map, you can argue. So looking to see what he can bring there. Of course, Scream going to make his impression. Nico goes down. And this is actually quite a really nice lineup between the two, if you think about it individually, right? You've got like Nico in there, you've got Nex, Chris J, big players like that, and then you've got Scream and Shox. This is a really nice head-to-head, and don't get me wrong, RPK on his days, another massive impact player. I remember talking to Vendetta during Dubai about this guy, and it was just like both of us just wait and pray for the old RPK to return. It's like
everyone does, yeah, absolutely.
It's like when that guy gets rolling, you just can't stop him. But anyway, let's get into this one. It's 2-0 already, as you mentioned, for Titan, and we're going to see what mouz can achieve here. But it's a very clean round. If they can get anything away, it'd be very nice. But I think we're already seeing Smiths being boosted up, and I doubt we'll see much out of this one. Yeah,
you said this is going to be an exciting game, of course. Both of these teams, no stranger to a bit of a roster mix-up. Getting rid of Spitty, throwing Nico now into the full-time mouz roster. It's good to see that the same thing actually happening on the Titan side, saying goodbye to Maniac with the addition of Scream. It does look like mouz already actually managed to find something. It was actually off the back of the newest addition, Nico, or newest permanent addition. Of course, he was under the mouz tag for a while. And they've got a second one. Nex was the one responsible for that one. And this round should not see another frag go the way of the T side. Already a lot of damage done to Titan. They did hold a few SMGs though, so it's not the end of the world. And RPK does manage to net himself 600 for that frag on to Nex then, as Titan do pick up their third. And it's going to be time now for mouz to put rifles in their palms as we go on in.
And the one thing I really want to point out, though, I was looking at the stats earlier about these two teams. Now, mouz Sports' Cash is pretty decent. Decent? What is that? New words. Decent. 11-6 overall. Pretty decent record. Whereas I was looking the last 3 months for Titan, how they've been playing. And this was excluding just, you know, Scream being on board. They haven't played it in the last 3 months. This is quite the rarity that they really haven't touched this map, considering. So, this would be a nice telling sign for them. And RPK already going hunting there. Good. Just a little bit of room in between those smokes to give him room to operate. And he does boost up Existence to peer over, get the shot towards Dennis, get dominance, and back away.
Getting away then after a little bit of initial damage done. He did take a bit of a beating as well, though. Down to 14. Let's see if that pays any sort of rewards for mouz Sports later. Counter boost coming in from Shox, though, but Chris J is not going to be alarmed. Finds the head of Shox, and again, The equalizer comes in from mouz. Early damage done from Titan could be nullified by this. Nico comes in, swings the door open and manages to net himself both an AWP and an entry into the site. Site most definitely not clear though, and I don't know if Nico is operating on that assumption, because here comes Chris J.
But look at Scream missing a shot like that. Not what I'm used to seeing, but still, RPK last man standing. He's got a lot to lose in this round. I doubt he's even going to go for this, if I'm honest.
He's got his box cutter out. He's going to do some unpacking. Just going to sit there and stare at it as he waits for this round to come to an end. Just I
miss casting with you, Alex.
Thanks,
you know, it's a real fragile state of affairs.
It's fragile. You can't open it, you know, aggressively. You have to be careful and cautious with your knife and slowly remove the strap.
I made a great little bit of a joke then, and you went a little too far with it.
You made a joke?
Yeah, I mentioned fragile before, you didn't even notice.
You did?
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
I don't think RPK is going to get away with this rifle now. He has been hunted down. It's Chris J who gets it and manages to evade that bomb radius. So all good in the hood for mouz as they go into their first rifle buy with a victory, and we're going to be seeing then Titan in, I was going to say, a soggy state of affairs, but they have got the AWP, they've got the rifles still flowing, the money is not going to be too much of a problem. And we are going to be seeing our first AWP versus AWP. I say AWP versus AWP, hell, there's two. Smiths and Existence both bringing them into the fray, leaving RPK just on a 5-7. Interesting choices being made by Titan as they leave him in the cold.
So, oh well. Method to the madness, we'll have to wait and see. Chris J always loves doing this as well, getting up on the truck, peeking down towards mid, but actually considering there's two AWPs, that could have been an error if he did that. He will be boosted up a more standard route there, but on the other side of things, there is Shocks and Scream down the other side, so could get a little painful, but Chris J, known for his AWPing ability, already taking down Shocks, but Scream still there playing highway, not going to be able to get too much of a presence, but mouz playing quite slow here. Just looking to maybe look towards A, maybe split through mid. RPK and Existence have been pushing up consistently on B, but look at Smiths just waiting from quad. He's going to have the chance to take on Chris J now as well. Smiths is going to get the shot towards Nico. Does almost bet out for Chris J then, but Smiths instantaneously expecting that play through mid, but no one was there yet. So already mouz not really threatening the weak spots in Titan.
Not yet, that's for certain. As T-side are going to find another. It's RPK who goes down, and mouz going to look to build off of these building blocks as Existence has got a bit of a challenge ahead of him. Here comes the T-side. He's ready for them. Doesn't quite get the shot towards Checkers. That was necessary in order to find success, and he does just get the tag. Chris J shows him how it's done. How's it's done. I'm become Gollum. I'm Smeagol for this cast. My precious Smiths isn't going to be able to do much better as he's left in a 1 versus 4. Makes it 1v3. That's the start, and he's going to try and find a second. Oh, it could have been beautiful. He would have been
your precious if he hit that shot.
Oh, okay. God B stabilizes that one as the flying AWP got me a little too excited, and it's going to be a second then in a row for mouz.
Oh, my word. Still. Let's just review that round. Basically, it was Chris J. He opened it and pretty much closed it. And I really like the way they didn't just rush on towards B. Then for mouz on their T side, they kind of just shoulder peeked, as you noticed, coming out of Checkers towards the site, crossing over. And it didn't allow Smiths a chance to pull those to Existence. But then again, Chris J doing what he does, just walking out. Shocks will at least pick up something, though. But he won't be able to retain the weapon, and this should be a clean round for mouz now.
Getting that early peek, he must have just assumed that there was no one going to be even faster than that.
Yeah.
And Existence just catch a nade straight to the brain. He's going to be going down through the wall after taking so much initial damage from God B. Then 3-3, then as mouz Sports do completely fight back after the early 3 from Titan. And now things are going to get interesting. No money for the AWP, never mind the double AWP that Titan once went for. Let's see how the CTs choose to play this one.
Chris J's got a good B spawn. Considering how much RPK has been pushing up, maybe he's going to be able to catch him. I'm curious to see if they go for it again. It's not only Existence and RPK playing that position, but actually 3 players this time heading towards B for the CT side. And he's going to get the first shot off. That is RPK down, but will he expect Shocks so close? Yes, he does. Shocks falls.
He saw him,
now he's got to know Existence is here. He's been playing it the whole time. They're going to check for a perfect flash, so will it allow Existence a chance to get some revenge? But this is not going well for Titan.
Yeah, they are going to be pushing in. If they can get rid of Existence, that's going to be an open B side. They do. Hunt him down. And it comes then down to Scream. He's the only one that managed to reposition onto B. Next was ready for him, and now Smiths is wondering where it all went wrong. Boosted up quite nicely. He's just going to try and keep hold of his M4. Catch a couple of the mouz Sports side out. Actually, it could be a question of if God B wins out in this 1v1. It's Smiths who's going to be coming to him, I think. As no, looks to find himself a nice little den towards that red container. Does make him vulnerable to Nico. That's that howl. He wants to try and keep that skin. Oh, nice, neat and tidy from Nico. Just the one bullet expended and goes on a retrieval mission. And now we're going to be seeing the 4th round on the board for mouzSports. This is where we do see Titan, the economy, look a little more shaky, as that's the 4th consecutive round for the German side. Can I call them German now with Nico?
Yeah, just round up.
Yeah?
Round up.
All right.
Ignore Chris J and...
That's true, yeah, with Nico, Chris J, and like God B as well. I mean,
yeah, just
his Turkish roots.
Yep, we'll just pretend.
Okay.
But still, I think the main thing here is Chris J so far in the important rounds has been such a defining factor. The play towards mid before getting the opener and then closing in towards the sides. That round towards B. Now the others are playing very well, but you know this is just a pistol round. The Deagles are there. It could get a little dangerous, but they're playing it smart.
Oh.
Apart from God B fluffing up the molly. It was meant to be used to clear those vents, but Scream will have the chance then to get at least one down. There's Nico. The gun does go loose, and that's always a dangerous man to get a rifle towards. Existence not going to be able to land that shot though, as mouz are just slowly working their way through the map, but Chris J going to be met by 2 here. Shox and Scream not too far away. Scream's already backed off towards that CT side, and Chris J has to be careful. He's kind of tucked himself into their own smoke, and the only rifle that was with the CT side has been removed, and so should Shox very soon. Yeah,
they made the call. I think you saw him through the molly as well. It's going to be another round then for mouzSports. There's a couple of Deagles and pistols scattered between Titan, but nothing to make enough of an impact over on mouz. And then when he's starting to get scary now, a couple of players just residing on 10k after the buy, and that's going to be really a problem for Titan that they're going to have to deal with in this round. I'm looking at Shoxy and I'm wondering if there's any money there for a buy. Yeah, he is just taking his time with it. He had 5.5k. So, picking up the AWP then. We've seen 3 players of the 5 pick up an AWP, varying intervals throughout this game for Titan. Shox's turn to try and make an impact up against Chris J, and he did again catch a necessary glimpse. Whether or not he's going to be able to prevail in this 1v1, he can't. As it's going to be 3 early ones for Titan, 4 no less, and mouz have just crumbled in seconds. Goppy looks like he wants to end this round fast, charging out towards A. Does manage to evade that flash, and the second. He's actually flashed himself. Smith's catching himself. Wasn't expecting that. And Titan, after what was about 4 rounds in a row, finally managed to find some footing.
Just a big start, winning the exchanges that time. As simple as that, not allowing the T side to make the plays and taking the active fights there for the CTs for once, and it paying off very, very well. So, money, not so much of an issue. They have recovered the rifles and what they needed, aka the AWPs basically. Shox retains his. Smith's going to pick up 1. And let's see what they can put to use into this round. Already Chris J looking in for that early pick. Not going to get the shot on it, but he does position early to watch the same shot that Shox took before. And Chris J just knows stuff like that. If you're going to play up against him, you better be able to bring your A game, because he's going to predict that stuff. Yeah,
read into Shox's AWP play very, very quickly. Took him 1 round. Now he has some degree of dominance in middle. There are 2 players from Titan. Oh no, I misread an X-ray. Just the 1 player over towards Sugar. And now with the... Oh my god, Existence is not burning. He's just on the little edge of that one. Smokes himself out to enable some form of an escape. T-side, they have their numbers, but they haven't committed anywhere yet. They've kind of spread themselves out. Nico was squeaky. Dennis, the polar opposite, over towards the south side of the map in Sunroom. And this one looks like it's going to be a slow, calculated execute. 2 mollies still for mouz, so they do have the potential to just push straight out on towards, I was going to say A, but looks like it's been used instead to clear close. So the dangerous thing is, though, Nico's playing by squeaky, so if he does get the kind of strong angle towards Toxic, if he's able to play that, I don't think he is. Before those 2 had fallen back, they could have caught them in between, but Existence, perfect timing, comes around, catching out Chris J towards mid, and now, next, Godby, Dennis, all heading towards A. 3 players for the CT side waiting here. They were playing off this. They had no one in on the site, but as soon as mouz wanted to make their presence known, look at the power they have in this one. Smith's having free reign, gonna readjust. Godby should have gone down then, but somehow gonna pick up 2. Goes in for a cheeky plant and gonna be executed by Scream. So, nice play from Titan. Kind of curious though, playing out of the site, mostly focusing towards mid, and then when they feel the threat's there, they kind of rotate into it. Yeah, I mean, a good read then from Titan. They kind of understood that mouz were really kind of keen on mid control and decided to kind of allocate their resources accordingly, but so far, a pretty back and forth match. You said already that these 2 rosters are just exciting names. Like, all of these excite me. Like, you've looked at the Nico and Next side for mouz, but then you'd also go over and look at this kind of terrifying Shox, Smith, Scream. In fact, I was about to read the whole roster. RPK, Existence. Like, everyone has definitely made a name for themselves in one way or another, and now things looking to hit a standstill. Nico's the only one, and he's been very convincing from Squeaky Scream. Gets a taste of his own medicine as a couple of taps from the AK nets him of a kill.
How do players like Scream? You know what I mean? Like Nico taking on Scream in those sort of positions is just unreal. It's so beautiful to watch because those two are such phenomenal aimers in such a hard position to play. So you get to see so many beautiful moments.
Oh my
Shots will be just outside of that molly there.
That's twice for Titan now. Existence had the same events.
It's kind of funny. I think most people have seen the recent videos coming out about how the T molly is, I believe, slightly stronger than the CT side. All very interesting stuff, but we'll come back to that soon as Existence has the perfect angle to lock it down. But next, break through the 1-for-1 trade. Smiths is there, but not in the perfect position, and round the back we go. Shox is piling in. They're going down towards MBK. They haven't got the bomb down yet. This is giving Shox time. He can get in the perfect spot. Look at Smith, so confident for the peek. He gets the tag, not the frag. And already, Shox is going to have to be such an imperative player here. Yeah,
this is the pincer movement. RPK does give him some sort of confidence. Here he goes, swings into the side, but next gets the last two necessary. Big plays there. That's 3 for him in that round, as Nico and Dennis were the ones to wrap up the rest, and that's going to be the 6th then for mousesports here on the T side of Cash. It's going to be a bit of a series, as I said already, for Titan as well as Mouse. These teams are about to meet 2 times this evening. A second map will be played on Mirage as our final game of today's matches, and in between that, Titan have to take on Fnatic. So this is going to be an interesting one, getting to see a whole lot of the French, but also how they shape up against Mouse. Into this round, though, we are seeing Titan's intriguing buy. 2 players just on armor and at 5-7, a couple of flashes between them as well. And these are rounds Mouse cannot afford to lose.
Yeah, but you can already see Smith's in quite an awkward position, so Smith's just going to sit up there. And Scream's baiting it out, being like, all right, come on, Nico, you know you want to kill me. I've got a 5-7, just try. So he's going to readjust, and he can pretty much leave Smiths to lock down that whole side himself, but the others need to lock down mid and B. Already RPK just going to try to ignore those bullets, just piling into the side of him. Here's Dennison next doing that, so it's quite a tentative run from both sides.
Actually, the first man to go aggressive is Shox through the smoke and nets himself a kill and a weapon now. That does put him in good stead to come through vents and babysit RPK, because it's about to get a little dicey in checkers. RPK does thrive, but with just 15 points of health left, he's going to be vulnerable to a nade. Only one man has it, though. It's going to be the Molotov of Nico and Chris J, actually, as it is a 3v3 then. Bomb on its way towards A, and Titan are aware of this. It's the same kind of play from before, where Titan come through middle, come from that CT spawn side, and Nico's just mopping them up one by one. Low health, no object. That's 3 for him already, just 12 points of health. He's hunting for the 4th, and RPK could very well give it to him here. That's just looking for those taps. He knows it's just one bullet. You can see it in his play. Oh, and he can't finish it off. He was given the chance, and it's going to be down to Next then to pick up where he left off. Still very, very impressive round from Nico. 3 frags where he was just 1 bullet away from death. That's going to be 5-7 then, as mousesports do manage to deal with those 2 pistols that Titan brought to the fray. Yeah, and now look at Titan. A little shoddy for money, let's just say. Really down to not much, so maybe we'll see the Deagles coming back out. Last time they all went for Deagles, this time 5-7s, P250s, Deagle. Nothing too much, nothing crazy. No armor bought up. And normally we just see the boost coming out towards A, but I doubt they'll go for it. There's not really much need, but maybe fancy it. As Chris J will already take out Shox and push up a little further. Make sure Godby can just watch over mid, and he can start looking towards A. Oh, this is just very clinical from Mouse. Imagine to catch that nade on RPK's heels as well. Everything is shaping up to be a neat and tidy Eco Bash. Look at Nico. Tries to swing and catch Smiths, and I think he's well and truly aware there is a CT somewhere around. He's going to put 2 and 2 together and realize that A main is going to be the only real likelihood here, and that smoke is going to try and give his teammates some weight. How on earth is Smith still alive? No one checked that corner. Fortunately, he didn't quite have the arsenal to do damage with it. And now the rotates from Titan. It's Scream at CT spawn. Existence about to join him, and Godbe's about to go to the shooting range. Or not, as it seems. The shooting range fights back. Scream's Deagle, causing him some trouble. How many more can he find? 2. Can he make it a 3rd? He is going to be picking towards it. Dennis does exhale as he finds his 3rd of the round. That shooting range, eh? It wasn't very... I mean, it's a shooting range, right? They fire back in the really the expensive ones. Oh, is that it? Is that like shooting ranges? They have ones? Yeah, they have these Deagle bots which shoot back. But still, 5A. This is a very, very solid T side from mouz.
Yeah, it's looking really good, to be fair. Titan just kind of picking up the rounds here and there, especially when they've been getting the double up in play. I think Shock's got a little predictable, allowed Crochet to get back into it, but still, they're onto the rifles now. They haven't been able to get that ult back in. Smith's going to be boosted up real quick, it looks like. Let's see if they're going to get it done straight away. It does seem as though there's an A-play coming, and they've got that just rehearsed down to a T. Chris J, I think, was watching it. Smith has to be very careful here. Nico looking for that maybe a little pop flash over, but there we go. Smith will get the drop towards Chris J, and this should be comfortable. Oh my god, Smith body blocks him, but it looks like Nico's out. Nico's made it out here, and now Gobby's backed him up.
Smith, if you just pulled the trigger, it could have been truly assassin style of play, but no. 4v4 then. Scream changes the numbers, and he's going to continue to rock the boat. Shox does it as well. Dennis and Gobby bite back. We are just constantly seeing this kill feed in action. It's Shox who finds the last two, as it was 3 for him at the end of that one. And Titan, it wasn't neat, it wasn't pretty, but they did manage to deal with mousesports' flood on towards the A site.
Yeah, just buying the time being up in that boost spot, and then the body block towards Nico. Just buys time for the others to kind of rotate over. Now they get more utility. Now, I don't know if they want to go... I don't think they can afford it, no. Oh, actually, no, tell a lie. Smith has got one. Okay, so maybe recovering that off Chris J. But still, Smith's not with any armor either, so glass cannoning away and looking at Chris J, he's going to have the armor. And these two, meeting a little early. Chris J going to just spam in there just in case someone worked off the back of that flash and really go aggressive. See Fancy being cheeky. RPK backing out of the molly. And he is out. He's already pushed out through the smoke. And we know they very rarely put players early on these sites. They like to play late in the game.
Damn, you could catch a glimpse of him here. Chris J, there's a player over towards Highway. I just said damn.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn! Smith's trained on Nico's location, and Chris J is going to be his saving grace as he goes around, checks MBK, and he's just going to look at that. Just slap bang in the middle of nowhere. Smith catches him out. This risk reward, and it looks like Smith is going to be netting some sort of reward from their Shox in the process as well. Isn't going to be given the time of day by Nico. As it is now a 3v3, and oh, he just keeps lining them up screen this time, keeping that A site safe for now. BK continues where he left off. Now all on to Dennis, and it is a 1v1, but he is low. Existence has a full, I was about to say head of hair, he has a full bar of health. He is going to be going ahead and picking that one up. I'm absolutely fine. Oh damn, head of hair. 8-7 on the half. And I mean, considering what Titan acquired in that first half, we saw them get the first 3 and then a wave of T rounds, picking up 2 more and then a wave of T rounds. Like, that was a very, very nice start from mousesports. So let's see if they can continue to take this into the CT side. Yeah,
we'll find out what they can achieve here. Looking forward to how well they play into. I think mousesports' T side was nice. I think that Chris J early into their T side was a really big factor. I think he can be, have a little pat on the back there, especially when those double ops are in play. He was a major factor in removing them away from the hands of Titan and making it really hard work, showing that you don't need necessarily a double op when he's able to do it just as well by himself. But still, Titan, you know, the impressive thing, they're always dangerous, whether it be just with Deagles, whether it's, you know, a bit of a messy round there. So I'm looking forward to their T side because you can really see the effect of that, especially with the Tech 9s coming out. So we'll have to wait and see if that comes through. So we'll be getting this one underway nice and quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the power of the Tech 9s from Na'Vi in our first game. Like, that was 2 incredible rounds.
That's a sentence you don't normally say as well.
Tech 9s from Na'Vi. Yeah, you know, touche. But so far, I mean, when you've got players like Edward and stuff, they're going to rock pistols no matter what, in what iteration of the pistol.
Now, I really like this. There was a couple of teams, actually the Russian teams, I first noted how much they favour the molly towards the A site where they can kind of defend the plant. And now we've been seeing that becoming more and more prolific elsewhere, where you're investing into mollies just to defend those bomb sites for a couple extra seconds. I hope this is what we're seeing. You can see the wall of smoke going down here from Titan, but it's a slow play. And around the back, Dennis and Chris J are closing in. They know this play inside out, but Shox is waiting, and Shox denies Dennis, so they can expect Chris J. But here we go. Titan out on the site. Smith's waiting on the precipice of the smoke. Bomb goes down, and this is just clinical stuff from Titan. That was the most beautiful pistol round I have ever seen. Just look at, they didn't even need the molly. They barely took any damage. RPK went down at the end. And that's especially with mousesports knowing what they're doing.
mousesports had a good read on that Titan play, there's no doubt about it, but by doing it so neat and tidily as well, you know, there's very little extra funds other than Chris J.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be posing the question, how many SMGs can we get away with? 3 is the answer to that question. 3 MAC-10s for Titan.
And look at the armor come out for mouz.
Okay, so that's actually not too shabby. 2 of them even have a helmet, so that's going to be completely, not nullifying, but cutting down the MAC-10's power and presence here on the map. mouz looking to force back. They struggled in the first time they tried this, but this time no scout to be seen instead. There's a whole lot of pistols. CSGO, oh, we had such potential, but RPK does pocket 600, and the second's going to happen to Dennis as well. As Mouse's buy is going to be torn away from them very, very quickly by Titan. Oh my god, Nico gets 3, 4! Oh my lungs, I don't believe it! Shox then has just to find one more. The molly isn't going to touch him. And what on earth has just happened as Deagle is on fire and Shox is going to walk into it as well. Nico is on fire. 5. He recovers the AK as well. And Mouse get pulled kicking and screaming into their 9th round.
Let's just take a moment to appreciate the beauty of this. Oh my god. It looks like suddenly we've gone back to Source where the Deagle becomes the AWP apparently. But Nico, absolute class play then. And he, okay.
I can't believe it. That should never happen. Oh my god, I've never gone that high before.
That was incredible. I think you just hurt your lungs more.
I think I've done permanent damage to myself after that round. I'm going to blame Nico. I'm going to sue him for damages. Oh.
You should do that. It's disgraceful. But look at this play as well. Mousesport's playing away from the site. Could allow Titan the plant here. So smoke comes down to block it off. Dennis is now going to push forward. And it does create a small path here. He's going to be given at least a glimpse of one of the players here. But Titan, yet to get the bomb down. Scream is on that case, though. Not going to get it planted just yet. And this round has nosedived. Existence now last man standing. They could have maybe done more with that, but they just kind of got caught up in between the pages, and Godbeat does close it down. So Mousesport's certainly doing well here. Are you okay?
I'm just catching my breath. No, I'm just catching my breath.
I've got loads of medicine. I've got like an aspirin inhaler these days. So
that was okay.
Is that a little spicy play?
I'm going to undo a couple of buttons just to kind of cool down a little bit.
For Nico.
For Nico, yeah, indeed. Okay, so whew, I'm back. Just going to be PT50s then for Titan. Godbeat does break the vent early in an attempt to maybe try and go for some early mid presence, and I'd be surprised if they.
I'm dying, aren't I?
You really are. I mean, people can't quite hear it because you're very efficient with your cough button.
I think they might hear it through your mic, though.
Okay, but I mean, if you guys have just joined us and are wondering, you know, why we sometimes lose Lauren, she has got a bit of a chest infection and can barely breathe, so that's why we are sometimes losing up. But in the meantime, hang on a second, Scream. He's just found 2. This could very well be a very, very impressive round. He hasn't got armor, though. And 2 CTs now fighting for it. And now Nico's had the limelight, and Scream wants it back. This is a man you do not challenge like this. Every time I've got to watch him, he achieves things like that. Beautifully clinical play. 4 for him that round. It's like, Nico, I liked what you did, but let me show you what I can do now with a rifle. And it was just clinically. Yeah, the A site's just like Hollywood Boulevard right now. Everyone walking down, it's looking to get their start on the concrete, and it's going to be 2 in a row then here on Cash. Now we're going to be seeing the AWP in play. It's going to be thrown towards his compadre, trying to get Smithston in on the action. Mousesports, they're a little limited in nades. You see Godbeat just got a decoy. Good $50 investment there. Let's see what you can do with that one. It does look like the T side have got some intentions towards A. Even mid, as Existence has actually dropped down with the bomb. That's a commitment. There are 4 players here watching mid from Mouse. Godbeat up in the vents. You've got Nico, you've got Dennis up by Highway, Nex as well. This is a big commitment, and Titan just bursting through it. 3 kills back to back. And Mousesports peeking 1 by 1, just getting punished by Titan here. And you just can't challenge out like this unless you have the opening control, which they had. And Shox with a closer there towards CSGO, just bring them back in this game. Considering how many players of Mousesports were dedicated to that one play, they should not have failed so parlously. It's going to be, I mean, that was a round that Mousesports kind of had every right to win. They had all the angles held. It's not like they weren't expecting something going on through middle, but Titan just played the numbers game beautifully and get some early frags to cause that one to tumble out of control, and indeed it has. It's down to the complete eco then. Very rare, almost a rarity to see in these days, but nothing invested in from Mousesports, and it's going to be a case of trying to find some sort of tight angle to take a weapon out of the running for Titan. Yeah, and there's no deagle this time for Nico, so we should be safe. So should I. I'm worried about you. We'll make sure there'll be a warning every time Nico has a deagle. We'll put like a nice Comic Sans thing on the screen. But still, into this round, CSGO kind of getting into it, and Titan are fully aware of this. There was a little stack from Mousesports towards the A site, but Titan taking their time. You know, even leaving the bomb in a fairly safe position, they don't want to risk things here. I say that as Smith literally just like leaps out, just like, I have an AWP, let me just leap into your arms, Nico.
Scream will at least put him down there in the end. But Titan do take the lead now. It's been a little bit of a long time coming, though. mousesports might need to regain some of their focus here, because they were doing so well for so long. But then how much can you just depend that up towards Nico as well? Because a player like him having such a big game, it's hard to always kind of depend on that.
I think, yeah, I mean, the T side from mousesports was great. Now coming into this one, they managed to win the Force, like going into that second round, then off the back of that picking up another. So they got those early 2 rounds. And after that, we haven't seen too much of them. In fact, nothing. 3 rounds now in a row consecutively for Titan here on this T side. And they're looking to pick up a 4th. Chris J's Org, or AUG, has other plans. And here he comes, just going to be laying down some sort of fire. I'm not sure whether he thought he was in warm-up or something, but either way, got beat. Does land the nade onto existence. Interesting play from Chris J. That's going to raise a couple of eyebrows on the stream. And now it's a 4v4, and it looks like Screamer about to just charge straight on in to the side. It was just one quick frag after another. It's going to be this time got beat, desperately trying to find RPK. Scream, in the meantime, is going to get him. And now it's just a 3v1. What on earth has this round become? Scream has just completely decimated that B half. 3 players down, courtesy of him. And they didn't even need to throw out any of his nades. That's going to be a quick one, and mousesports are back where they started on the pistols.
Yeah, it's just like Scream v Nico right now. Nico's on like 23. Scream. Okay, he's got a deagle, Alex. Just deep breath, deep breath.
I'll let you take it, yeah? Just try and
just
keep,
in case.
keep it in case.
Oh, it's all right. They paused the match just so you can take.
Thank you.
Take a second. Really, we'll just watch Nico. We'll have a round with Nico, okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
Just in case. Okay. You know, I hope for your sake there's no further issues. We'll have to be, ask Nico to calm it down a little bit. But still. Yeah, 12 to 10 currently. I think Mouse... I shouldn't be able to do much with this round, bearing in mind. Shouldn't. Then again, you shouldn't be able to get an ace with a deagle either. Again, it's pretty much a fully
armoured T-side with rifles.
Shouldn't be able to do that.
All down highway.
Stop it.
What was that?
Should we watch it? I wish we could just hear your voice again.
No, I don't want to. I think my life flashed before my eyes. I wasn't expecting. You know when you're wrapping up the round, so you're just like, oh, and it's just going to be Nico, blah blah blah, what blah blah blah. What the hell just happened? Look at this. So let's have a look at them. Full armor. No one's looking at him. That's a second one. Then he he fluffs his lines just for a second before finding another one. So that's basically 5 bullets and 4 frags. 5 bullets, 4 frags, and then he goes and snatches up a rifle for the final frag.
No, he
did the deagle.
He just readjusts for the bomb.
Oh, and then Shox just walks straight on into his crosshair. I mean, I wasn't breathing at this point. That's why I don't remember it. There was no blood going to my oxygen. No oxygen going to my brain. It's still happening right now.
Are you good right now? I'm the one who's medicated.
There was no oxygen going to my brain still. It's just started flowing now. There I am.
Okay.
Here I am. I'm back.
All right, we'll have to try and get some medical advice how to take you out of these situations.
It takes something really quite impressive. It takes something really quite impressive for a player to make a play so much that it actually damages my brain for a short period of time.
It did hurt my lungs, so I started kind of not giggling, but your octave you reached was really something new.
Have you ever seen Alvin and the Chipmunks?
I have. I was a big fan.
That was kind of what I was going for.
I've seen the cheeks as well then at the time.
Ouch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alvin.
Yeah.
Have you seen that they're still alive, but in horrible 3D animated form?
I don't.
I turned on the TV when I was back in England.
In my mind, they died a while ago of a nice death.
They did, but they're still alive.
No, they're not.
And he's got a hoodie on, and he's in high school.
Oh no!
I know. I don't know.
Why would they do? Why would they sully our childhood so
And you know what really upset me about Alvin and the Chipmunks is that it was called Alvin and the Chipmunks, but the Chipmunks had other names. Why was Alvin so special?
Oh, because he had the red hoodie, so cool kid.
I don't know. Either way, we are back to the CS. We do have our 5th back in the server.
Last time we had that pause, we started talking about RuneScape.
That was that we went on a kind of a 2-hour tangent with Hellraiser's mousesports. Fortunately, it's not going to be the case this time.
That's a shame. We could talk about RuneScape some other time.
Yeah.
We had a nice chat about WoW recently and awkward naming of characters.
Yeah, we're very good at character name. Maybe if there's another timeout, we'll come back to that subject.
We can come back to that. Don't worry, guys. Yeah. There's plenty of time left, but it does seem as though we're getting back underway. I'm going to have to get my inhaler out soon and just really
probably a good idea.
Wheeze my way through the rest of the game. Anyway, we are back into this one. Titan on 12, mousesports on 10, but as we noted, this is the Nico round just to see if Alex can keep it together. And you know what? I'll give you this one.
Wow, you're so generous. It does look like he's going to have a bit of a quick start. Shock's going to challenge him. It's going to be a second to trade it out, though. And he had a chance. Shock's not going to be caught off too easy, though. And that's going to be a quick start for Titan into this one. That Kevlar and pistol investment is going to be thrown to the wind by Mouse. as it's just going to be GobB and Chris J on his USP, who are left to their own devices. Titan just going to be wrapping this one up, and that's going to be put in 13. That's when things start getting scary, because just 3 rounds away from that magic 16, and Mouse's economy isn't going to be the most idyllic either. This is going to be, they're going to have full round loss bonus, because this will be the 5th, so they are going to have the maximum amount of money from these round losses. It's going to come down to where they can build from there.
So, what I'm excited to see is now Titan have this full buy opportunity, and the one thing that I used to love about Titan, especially on this map, even in the previous lineups, but it's mostly the life of existence within the roster, of course, is their choreographed plays that they can come out with. The one that really used to catch my eye was towards A, but it doesn't seem as though that's the case right now. I'll come back to that in a moment, but already Chris J going to be getting that early presence out towards mid. Next to be pushed up, but the big play from Titan is all about B, and it's only got B here. There's 4 players heading towards it, Shocks towards mid. The only danger here really for them is the threat of mouz, Dennis and Chris J over by mid. Unless GobB goes big, this should be around for Titan. Let's see if GobB can find a little bit of that classic magic here. He's going to take the challenge towards one. He will trade out 1 for 1 there, but the rest of mouz are going to get in a good position unless Smiths can stop them. He's already watching those vents early on. Flash comes through. It actually counters off mouz as well.
With the bomb down, though, Titan do have a bit of a disadvantage, and it's going to be extended by Dennis. The shot did connect, he's going to get the second. Smith does.
Oh, one crossed over, he doesn't know.
I don't think he caught a glimpse of him either, and it's going to be the flash that does end Smith's ultimately, though. RPK was just left. What just happened? I was talking about mouz. I should have been talking about RPK. He found 4 in that round and brings the round home for Titan. mouz had the numbers. They were on the retake. Yes, the bomb went down, and RPK just came alive on B.
The absolute turret. Just unreal play from him. Not what you expect, just kind of just stationary, just one-tapping kids as they walk back in. Now, look at what position that's left mousesports in. A real shoddy buy-up. Chris J with the scout there, you got the P90 coming out, a Famous, and far from ideal, but look at the play. They're going to be pushing straight up through mid. Shocks just takes the challenge head-on, catches out Dennis. Now, he's going to expect more, but Titan's just going for the challenge. Next, a little bit of line of sight there, finds a P90 towards Scream, but these guys shouldn't win this round, but they're still trying out. Next, it's not done either. He's got back in, found existence, finally put down by Shocks, but that was a little bit sloppy, and actually Titan are down to 2.
Yeah, and this is going to keep going. RPK does finally find Titan just a little breath of fresh air. As he's going hunting, he knows there's going to be one to his right. Is he expecting the player to his left, though? As GobB does swing in to try and find him. And now, oh, Chris J, what are you doing here? It does look like we are just experiencing a little bit of a hovering, as he is back in the game. So, 2v2, 58 seconds left on the clock. It's going to come down to what Titan can do with these final 2 weapon Smiths onto Chris J. Now all onto GobB then to bring this round home for mousesports. Not looking likely as the Molotov is going to seal off a little bit of his route. Does get that though, so all on to Smiths. 40 seconds, he's taking his time. He could have got the bomb down by now, and he's well and truly aware of that. Instead, goes on the hunt and just swings and a swish into GobB. 15 then for Titan, as they're keeping it exciting for us.
Oh, that was a real flick of the wrist there. My God. Beastly. All right, mousesports, you ain't got much money. The P90 almost paid off last time. Are you going back for that, or are you just going to go for what you can? There we go. They're going to go for the normal kind of purchases.
Normal? Yeah, I mean, Chris J on a scout, you're absolutely right.
That is normal. Yep. So, you know, it's surprising when he actually AWPs. Outside of that, though, Titan just running it as they are, and it looks like they're going to be going straight in for the picks towards mid-existence. Actually playing a lot more passive this time. Shocks and Co looking maybe towards mid. Smiths will be the one to kick things off in. Looking down there. Does get the tag towards Chris J too. Nade to follow that would have sealed the deal. Oh, but Nico getting into a good little spot there, but Dowdy's going to get much from this.
Oh, actually did get a tag, and looks like Existence could be picking up Chris J straight through the smoke. He does. Why was Chris J there with the scout is the question I decide to ask. Pushed up in middle, but we're just going to go ahead and not overanalyze that one, because Shocks is just playing Squeaky so damn well. They know exactly where he is as he swings the door open, doesn't stop him taking 2. And then it does look like Titan have gone and picked this one up rather convincingly. 16-10. Will be our final result, assuming GobB doesn't just do something absolutely crazy. I think the answer is no. Shocks does confirm it as he finds his 3rd of the round. And that is going to be GG for the French in the first of this series. I say series, of course, because we're going to be seeing a lot of Titan now, as we are going to be seeing Titan Fnatic, and then a rematch over on Mirage for Titan and mouz. What have we learned from that first game, though, between Titan and
never trust Nico with a deagle.
Oh, God, yeah.
Scream can still rifle really well. So 2 really non-surprising things. Chris J can make a really big difference, especially...
And rush middle with a scout in the final round.
Yeah. That's it. That's the mouse life.
Analysis. That does wrap it up, though, for our second game. Really, really intriguing to see that you can have two sides who have very convincing T-side on cash. I mean, like we saw that, and we were like, okay, Mouse have got a real good, solid chance on CT, and then we just see them they picked up 2 rounds on the CT. That's not your standard cash.
But then you put rifles, like, you put the AK in the hands of Scream, it's always going to be dangerous. You see, players like RPK starting to really hit those shots, and everyone starting to operate on those higher levels. It's going to be pretty hard. It
is. So the next game will be Titan versus Fnatic. Have we seen enough from them to best the top of the table? We'll see.
Like that. Thanks, Matt.
Oh, they're actually knifing with just 4, are they? Oh, Crims makes the noble choice.
Oh, Crims is a nice
Hang on, wait.
guy.
Smiths is on Fnatic. He's going to be making all the calls. This is actually not okay, because he knows exactly where Fnatic are with this sniper. Okay, anyway, they are starting to cut each other.
What's happening.
And it does look like Titan are going to be picking
up
this
Is this me being ill, or is this Smith?
I'm so very confused.
What is happening? I don't under...
There it is.
Matt,
the Comic Sans warm-up.
God damn it. Was that the legit knife?
I think that was the legit knife, yeah. So we're going to be seeing Titan pick it up and choose to stick around on CT. And
clearly Fnatic very serious about this then.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic currently residing at the top of the table alongside TSM and Na'Vi. Let's see if they can continue to exert dominance here on Overpass up against Titan. Recently, here on the Pro League, we did see one game from the Titan boys on Overpass, and it didn't go too well for them up against TSM. They lost out 16-5. So let's see if they can just best that. That's going to be their main target, is improving at this point on some of their weaker maps. Yeah,
here we go. And the Glock train has already left the station. And it was looking towards B, and actually no players for the CT side are here. They're all in the underpass tunnels. So this will be a very curious round. Both teams just going to be like, where are they? And well, they're going to find out very soon. Smiths has already received a little bit of damage as Olaf just tucks his head under the balcony. Does manage to pop out, catch out RPK, which will follow, but it's JW, and there we go. Olaf just proving how much of a pest he can be in these times. Picks up a gun. And Titan getting pretty locked out here.
Yeah, and that's just really good read from Olaf. Saw the door swing open and didn't immediately assume it's just going to be the one.
I love that.
Just kept it chill, waited for them to come to him, and they did indeed do just that. Now those shocks, just his Kevlar and his P2K to try and do something, and he's going to be able to find Crims. That's definitely something, and time is going to be coming to a close. So he's just going to go ahead and keep himself breathing. And we are actually going to see one of the Fnatic boys go down to the bomb in the end of that one. Still, first of many, as you would assume, looking at previous statistics here for Fnatic on Overpass.
Have to wait and see. Kind of curious about Titan then, just maybe trying something new, seeing if maybe they'd read something into Fnatic previously. But Fnatic heavily investing into this, even though they do have the kind of 3 SMG style you can see with the head armor and all the utility to boot. They want to keep this fairly clean, and in theory they should do. But then you look at Titan, they do have that kind of head armor there. They do have a lot to work with, and already similar stuff from Fnatic. Trailing their way through. Trying to get early control, but Scream's going to have the perfect opportunity and takes it. That's Pronax down. That's a gun to be recovered. That was, however, I believe the Mac 10, if anything. So it's not the worst thing to lose, but they're in the great position here. Scream from above. Brilliant angle. Flashes come out. They've got them just trapped in here. That's a lot of damage coming in, but Crim still fighting it out. 3 players left. But look at this. Sadly for Titan, they can't recover all these guns.
There's no way that they can let this round slip away. Looks like they're going to try, though, as now Fnatic are in a 2 versus 1. Titan going to be looking to hopefully just take Flusher out. Look at that, 13 points of health. Just 1 bullet with his P250 could very well be enough. And he's actually opted for the harder target first. Did some good damage to Crims. Crims making short work of him in the end. It's going to be 4 for him in that round. Kind of helping where the others fell. It was Olaf and JW who managed to make very little impact in that one. And they are going to go back into this one with a few more rifles than they started. On the other side of things, we're going to be seeing Titan just stick with, I think that's quite literally just 2 P250s and a couple of flashes for shots.
Nice stuff from Scream there, though. Making the most of pushing through mid, as we saw, and just kind of getting at least 1 down very early on and assisting on the rest. But 4 rifles now coming out from Fnatic. Don't want to take any chances here. They should be playing this one fairly safe and fairly smart. And you can see on the other side of things, Titan looking to maybe focus the vast majority of their attention towards this B site. To be fair, it's where Fnatic have gone for the last 2 rounds. However, this time they are switching it up, maybe looking over towards A, and Smiths will be waiting ever patiently as Flusher is going to start having a little look. He's going to see at least 2 players there, and it will merely spur on Fnatic towards this A site.
looking to make an impact. I'm scared by the deagle. Fortunately, it goes away, and I can breathe a little calmer, as it's going to be Scream taken out by Flush. He finds a second as well, as Existence has tucked himself into that what has become predictable corner.
And they can rotate again here. This is the danger. Flush has found Smiths, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're kind of just pivoting linchpins almost. They had Olaf and Flusher waiting back by B. Now they've pulled the two players over towards A. They're going to leave JW here. Now he may go down. He's a little low. And there we go. Shox will pick him up, so does recover a rifle, but at what cost? Fnatic have kept 4 players alive. Bomb is down, and they shouldn't lose anyone else. That was really nicely done. And never reading into the round like it's over, regardless of how many are alive. They've been constantly working that round out.
Yeah, good to see from Fnatic, and it's always so impressive to see the level of communication that they can possess as well. Just getting a real good understanding of where their opponents are. Reading the small signals, you know, the little indications as to where those CTs can be positioned, especially when on that, you know, T side on the assault. It's often a numbers game at the end of the day, and Fnatic playing it beautifully in this one, maintaining 4 of their own, and they just about catch that 5th one with the explosion. He's going to be killing himself as they do manage to notice that AK's lying on the floor. Big smile on their face, and that's going to be Fnatic continuing on that spree. 3-0 then for them. We are going to be seeing the first AWP in play, this time in the hands of Smiths. In the previous game for Titan, we managed to see it in both, let's go through this, Existence, Shox and Smiths all picked up the AWP at one point or another. Yeah. Intrigued to see if it's going to kind of rest on one player as the team continues to evolve.
And it looks like Existence and Shox are going to be escorting him down towards that fountain side. Actually quite pushed up here, not playing it passively at all, but Fnatic going back to what they did in the pistol. And last time it was Scream who stopped them. This time RPK tries his hand and fails parlously, as Existence will have to try and pick up the slack. However, now there's 3 players hammering down towards him. He's going to be very cautious here, backs away. And the rest of Fnatic can now have to kind of reconsider their options. Scream's adjusting around, and Fnatic have been slowed.
Slow and steady seems to be their motto as they are rotating back around.
Oh, this could be huge.
Shox has got a good read on this one. He can hear footsteps. He's going to have to play this beautifully. Pronax, are you going to check that corner? Why would you? He does! He is only going to take 1, though, before going down to JW. He had to pay a heavy price for that one. Smart of Pronax to check that corner, realizing that he was going to be vulnerable on this rather late rotate. I say late, 45 seconds left on the clock, and Fnatic still not sure where they want to commit towards this one, considering Crims and the bomb is heading back towards that monster area.
They're kind of using JW like they did before, putting him out on his own and kind of keeping him holding parts of the map pretty much safe and leaving Flusher and Crims to kind of explore the rest. He's going to try and get the players away from A, but Scream and Smiths are still by B. And look at the time. It's running low, and Smiths takes the head off of Flusher, and now he's expecting Crims. But look at this. JW shows his hand. He draws them towards A as Crims slowly works his way towards the site, and now this is just beautiful. He knows he's done his job. He can get the hell out of there now. If he can get down there fast enough, the bomb's even planted for him. This is Fnatic playing just beautiful CS.
That was so good. Damn you, Fnatic. And the fact that he planted so openly as well. He knew they weren't going to be looking at them. And now, Fnatic just set themselves up, dig themselves in, and they're going to go ahead and pick up this round. Titan backing away as they know they've been played for fools. And Fnatic are going to make this 4th round a beautiful one. Just such
sexy.
Smart decision-making made by them as a unit. And that's going to be the 4th. Now, though, where are Titan going to kind of catch their breath? Where are they going to find a way in is the question. And I don't know whether or not it's going to be this round. Looking at their current state of things, we're probably going to be seeing maybe a pistol or 2. RPK just treats himself to a deagle. A 5-7 for Existence. On the other side of things, everything could not be more stacked up. Full nades, full everything for Fnatic, and they're going to be coming into this one looking to find a quick 5th. That bomb, and the majority of Fnatic are actually going towards the fountain side of things. Maybe just going to go for a long peek as well for Olaf. And considering where the CTs are stacked up, if they continue at this pace, things could go very, very right, very, very quickly for Fnatic.
Yeah, it could well do. Existence has been playing it pretty religiously thus far. And you can see Crims is actually trying to peek over that smoke, just trying to catch anyone out. Not going to find anything, even going to check towards clearing it. Smith and Shox have now joined over towards this, so there's actually a fair amount of the T side on this side. But bear in mind, we've seen Fnatic rotate off the back of a dime, but already JW going to find Existence. Might spur things on. Titan not showing their hand though. Here we go. That's the game up now. Pronax has been tagged. Will they still commit? Titan have put 4 players on this site. If Fnatic go for this, they're going to have to reinforce it, but they've got 50 seconds here, Alex. They don't have to go for this site right now.
It's kind of do or die for Titan now, and Smith's having that AWP hasn't been able to make too much of an impact despite the enemy coming straight towards him. Misses the sitter. He was lined up with Olaf Meister's belly button and he can't find anything. Good God, Olaf gives him a lesson as he takes 2 of Titan's 3. Crims is the one to wrap up the final, but Smiths was given the opportunity there. He had the AWP, he had everything perfectly lining up for him. He was not being threatened, not smoked out. Everything was lining up good for Smiths, but the shots just did not connect, and that's going to cost him an opportunity at the first round on the board for Titan. Yeah,
massive opportunity lost there. And to be fair, the thing is that Fnatic knew there was a lot of players on their side. Once they'd heard the AWP, they'd heard everything they had. They still went for it, yeah, why not? They're that confident, and now Fnatic going in for what looks like a fairly aggressive play to begin out with them, but they do slow down. Touch the Scream will be making the peak, but gets put down by Pronax. They were flashed up. I'd be gutted if I was Scream. But now Smith is going to have to try and call off one angle to try and support RPK. And Fnatic know they're already in control of this round.
Yeah, and immediately it was so interesting. As soon as that one frag happened, Fnatic immediately just stood still, and JW and Crim started to rotate back. They decided, right, we've made an impact on B now, let's go and keep them guessing elsewhere. And hang on a second, RPK is considering something. They're smoking it, trying to keep Fnatic. Oh, that's beautiful. That's going to be the bomb. A huge play, but Olaf swings around with his AWP and immediately regains control.
Oh my God.
To some degree. Numbers stacked up against Titan now, and it's looking to extend that. Is going to be Flusher through middle. This is one of the intriguing plays from Fnatic because they're so spread out. They're using the toilet area through connector as a kind of pressure point. They can basically keep them guessing on both B and A by taking this late control of the middle area.
Well, that's the thing. If they wanted to push B, they could do, because everyone's watching Olaf, and they're still doing that. Olaf's still got the bomb. He's not committed. It's going to be a B play. I don't think he can even make it towards A in time. So, no matter what, Smith is the player that's going to be the imperative one out of this, and he's going to be taken down by Flusher. And in the end of it, they still win out on brute force. But you can see how much faith they have in those guys to win those duels.
And that is an incredibly blue knife for Olaf. The case hardened blue. That's I was reading about this one. I was like,
oh, the blue gems.
Because I don't know, because I got a case hardened. I was like, oh, hang on. Apparently they go stupid prices because you can like super rare get blue. I don't know how it works. See, well, I don't know very much about knives.
Okay, so with knives, it's like almost like imagine a cloth of a pattern, right? And they say there's a certain area that's got a lot of blue in it. You may have a very small percentage to get that sort of pattern. So
I'm with you.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, back into the game. Oh my God, that wallbang is just annoying as hell. Scream's gonna do it again though. He's gonna find out Crims, but I guess you can't write out players like Scream when he's given a 5-7. Those things are pretty freaking accurate, but still, Fnatic should be able to lock this round down. Shox is kind of tucked away, but that bomb is not able to stop it either. As Olaf did find existence, now it's down to 2.
Yeah, both of them rather sketchy. One of them does have Kevlar, though. It's going to be Shox, who has a little bit of a slightly more increased chance of survival. Not going to be happening. Flusher takes him down. And then it's just down to the Deagle of Smith. 3 to find, and Pronax is going to be the first to challenge and the first to finish, as it's going to be 7-0. Titan yet to get off the starting line, and at the moment I see no signs of that changing. It feels like Fnatic are in complete control, on the T side no less, of Overpass.
See, and in my eyes, the only way it changes if an individual has a really big round from Titan. They're just getting overrun individually. It's, one player may pick up 2 kills a round, but that's all they'll get. And then everyone's operating on full cylinders for the other side. Pronax, you could argue, all right, he's not top fragging right now, which he very rarely does, but he doesn't need to. And I just want to see how Titan switches up. I feel they have to try and take these angles, take these shots, but when players like Olaf are just dancing between... Oh. Dancing around his own nade. And there's the 1-for-1 trade again. RPK doing what he does, but just not really winning out in these situations overall. They've done this trading, then Scream tries to pick up the mantle. He wins it out against Crims most of the time, but then the remaining players of Fnatic just outdo them. This time, though, they've done a lot of damage towards JW, so he's going to have to be a little bit more cautious. And actually, Scream's still prowling around. This is different, but Crims winning the duel is going to once again give this back into the hands of Fnatic, at least for now. And Shox, you better be landing shots like that. Don't give Crims a second chance. And he doesn't.
This is the closest Titan have come to actually being in control of a round so far. Knowing they've done damage, taking down Crims and Pronax, but also JW being down low. So it feels like they've got a good understanding of how to take this round home. Smiths and Shox finding one on either end of the map, and it all comes down to JW, who's crawling through with just a fraction of the health he started with. He's got nades, he has the bomb. There is a couple of, positives to this situation, but the French most definitely just one bullet away. from picking up their first much-needed round. It's going to be Existence who does fire off the warning shots. And JW starting to get closed in on. He knows he needs to kind of cut them down fast. Not going to happen. Existence does complete the set. And it's going to be Titan's first round after 8 grueling attempts. They managed to put the first on the board.
They just relentlessly threw bodies into taking challenges, it looked like. Just one after the after. RPK took the fight. He got the 1-for-1 trade. We saw the fight after that. Crims went down. It was just like, eventually, we might win this one out. So it wasn't pretty. But it did the job. And Fnatic 7-1 up now. Titan getting a little bit of a better buy here. A lot more utility to work with. I'm curious to see how Titan now, Fnatic now, switch things up. And if they feel the need to. Last time they just didn't win out on the trades as favorably as usual. This time RPK and Scream going very aggressive. Again, peeking out so early on. Trying to get control of this kind of middle area towards that B site, but it looks like already Fnatic starting to build up towards A, but Smiths is waiting. Now, last time he didn't exactly land those shots back to back, but he does have a much better opportunity now.
Okay. Damage already has been done to Titan, and it's going to continue to be done as Olof just kind of finds Smith. These guys have been having this constant staring competition, and every single time it seems that Olof does prevail. Pretty far from Pronax, and if his Existence can throw himself there now, that would be perfect. But look at this! Shox has come around and doesn't manage to find a thing! He had such an opportunity! That's almost quite reminiscent of what Smiths had not too long ago as well. Titan being given choices, and RPK has one right now. 1 versus 3. Makes it 1v1. He's found 2 very quick frags, but Flusher does manage to deal with him and does secure another for Fnatic. Again, that's probably 2 rounds back-to-back where Titan were given chances by Fnatic. Shox coming around that corner. No one was looking at him. He had about 2-3 seconds of free control and didn't manage to net him 1 frag.
Yeah. And looking at the buy-up Titan going for... You see the Nova for RBK. Smith's going a little more aggressive here with the op. But it looks like every time Smith does this, they don't go near him. They go straight through, they take down Scream, RPK gets the exchange. And, well, there we go, RPK gets one, gets the exchange. And it's pretty much rinse and repeat. It's like we've seen the same round 50 times now, even though there's been 10 rounds.
Yeah, but I mean, I think what Fnatic are doing so well here is that they never ever go like for fast fountain play, never straight into toilets, because they know, the CTs can thrive.
GW.
CTs can thrive by just pushing early, through mid, getting some early control around toilets and connector. Instead, Fnatic commit straight away, always, towards this kind of water/monster area. And then these late, slow pushes once the CTs have retracted. It's very kind of inspiring to see how they are structuring their T side. And a 9-1 scoreline is going to be... I mean, it's going to be spelling trouble. Let's not forget Titan's last result here on Overpass. The last time we saw them play, it was actually here in the Pro League itself. 16-5 against TSM. It doesn't even look like they're in line to pick up that at this point in time. Smith was just, a couple of seconds away from getting himself tucked into that corner, and the potential to happen the drop on them. RPK does do some damage though. That's Flusher now down and out. Not going to be able to retrieve the rifle, that's for sure. As JW does ensure that. And it does look positive for Existence. That's the bomb. Expecting a second as well. He found that something could start to be forged, but not going to be happening. And now it's Shox's turn in the meat grinder. That Fnatic meat grinder is not working, not operational, as it is now 1v2. Olofmeister and JW up against Scream.
And Scream has had some great moments this game already, but that might be another. There's a start. Can he land the perfect shot here? JW has everything he needs. And poor old Scream just has his P250, and JW's not going to take the chance. He's getting out of there. He's going to allow Scream to have, a good moment. He's going to like, screw this.
Neat and tidy.
I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it real clinical. I'm not even going to take that P250 lightly. I'm checking my corners against a P250 with 25 seconds.
Why wouldn't you?
And there we go. Bomb down. JW going to smoke himself out of here. Oh, he actually fakes it. Oh, it's filthy to watch. It's filthy. Oh, JW. Do you know what the thing is, right? Stuff like that is beautiful to watch. And then there's so few players who put it off on such a regular basis that he's just so careful, and then will do things like that. Just fake the smoke on one side. So
Scream tries to try and peek it.
Exactly. And then they'll peek that way. And he just literally challenges straight up, just like, hey, How you doing?
Well, I mean, he did know he was up against an unarmored, low-health P250, so, I mean, it was really kind of do or die on the toilet exchange.
I just hope that on the toilet exchange.
That's what it was, the toilet exchange.
The toilet exchange.
That sounds like a really, really cool movie. I'd watch the toilet exchange.
I bet you would.
Like Wes Anderson movie, I'm thinking, you know, kind of quirky.
Really?
It's about a toilet salesman from Albuquerque.
I think you're trying real hard here to make this not sound weird.
I'm trying. Either way, Shox is not going to be able to do as much as he was asked for. I say that. He actually found Pronex. There was a third man there by Monster. And he's already rotated all the way back around to try and deal with JW. JW's just crawled into bank and he's going to be stealthing his way around there. Lauren has completely lost control. She is giggling like a manic witch, but this CS is still unfolding. It's going to be Shox and Smiths, and oh, Shox. Oh, JW, don't you do it. That's right, doesn't quite get the knife. He considered it, and he's going to jump down straight onto the head of Smiths. Fortunately, not going to be finding that one. So Titan still have an opportunity to pick up this second round, but it's going to be depleting and depleting fast with the bomb in. Fnatic just setting themselves up for a crossfire. Flush is the one to try and keep Smiths busy as time does start to become a factor. Look at Flusher. There is absolutely no respect being shown here. Jumping up and down, trying to keep Smiths away from the site by any means necessary. Oh, and it's just Ring Around the Roses. Finally finds it. And Olof is happy to oblige for Fnatic. 11-1 then the score here on Overpass. And it seems that Titan are having a bit more of a troublesome time on Overpass. As it's no secret, it's a map that we weren't expecting to see the best from Titan. It's a map that they've always been very clear that it's not their strongest. Maniac has you know, kind of imparted that knowledge when he was a part of the team. Now, Scream at the helm. Just dying, 5 frags. Yeah, it's all right. I've been talking.
Yeah, I'm very impressed.
Scream has just the 5 frags currently. And it looks like he's not going to be given an opportunity this round either, as they are boosted up over that smoke. JW not pushing through. Instead, it's going to be Crims to draw first blood.
Yeah, and Crim's getting ahead of where RPK expected players to make it, and JW's going to take the perfect time to peek them both. Smith's in existence get wiped down, and JW's going to pick up a third, because why not? It's JW, and he wants to get 3 kills, so he might even make it a 4th if he wants to, because he's going to have the perfect chance, but it's Crims to find it, and Fnatic just looking double, and Price just, you know, warming up a little.
Yeah, Crims and JW just picking up an ace between them. As,
I really want JW to get the Kraken out, though. Did you get to watch him on Cobble when he gets out the sort of shotgun and just flies through drop down?
I have seen that play.
It's magical.
He has been known to pick it up on questionable situations.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm hoping we see it here for no apparent reason. Not right now, but just he brings it out. I just, you know, it makes me very happy.
You want to see JW's Kraken?
Really?
That's all I'm saying. You told me off for my toilet remark. I was just
right, sorry, what was the film called again?
I'm not going to remark. I have no idea, actually. In the meantime, Crims is in his happy corner, in his happy place, and he's found 2. It's going to be Smiths who tries to take him down and out of the running, but look at this. He's actually forced back. Glass Cannon, of course, makes him even more vulnerable to these wallbangs, and nades down to 29. He's desperate to try and catch his breath, and he's just going to be hunted down like a rabid dog. It's going to be JW who does put him down, and now Scream and Existence are left to try and just desperately put another number on the board for Titan.
Scream is in the perfect position. He's going to get the first bomb. It's loose. Follows up with Pronax. Going to go for the third. Clinically done. Saving on the ammo at this point. But can he find the others? Will he expect JW to be on the way around? Scream in control of the situation. JW is going to be peering through though. Going to spray down wildly. Take his time on Existence. So it's down to Scream. 1v2 for the ace here against Fnatic. He has to pick it up for his side. Spots out JW, but there's still Crims. And he will be the one to close it down. And Fnatic, once again, keeping control. 2
rounds in a row. Just Crims and JW are the ones to frag to bring those rounds home. That's another ace between the 2 of them. And they are rightfully, as expected, sitting at the top of the scoreboard. 21 for JW just in the first half alone, and Crims just chasing him on 16. Crims has been rushing straight to that corner. We see him now 2 rounds in a row. He gets there and then proceeds to threaten short. It's really intriguing that he's actually finding frags. Like, Titan are going aggressive, even though there's a whole lot of predictability to Fnatic's play at this point. For us, anyway, with our overlay on, and Flusher just connects straight through the wood onto RPK.
And of course, it's Flusher to do it as well. Let's be honest. Who else would be the one to do that right now?
Absolutely. He probably lifted his mouse at that very moment. But the fact that RPK's been a constant presence at short, Flusher then proceeds to spray him down, and he's not stopping there. And Fnatic, in the meantime, have not moved a muscle. The bomb's still hanging out in playground. And this is the final opportunity for Titan on the CT side to try and get rid of that rather dirty mark of just one round.
Yeah, I think they know that this has been a bit of a dire game. I can imagine when they see it on the schedule, there's only so much you can be really looking forward to in a match like this. Now Smith's in a great spot, but Grim's already making it hard work finding shots. He will get the drop though. Here we go. Smith, Scream, Existence, all chiming in with frags, leaving it just in the hands of Pronax. And finally, they make it work out, but at what point?
Yeah, that's little bit of a redeeming feature then for Titan, managing to secure their second. I'm pretty sure they were very oddly spaced out as well for them. Yeah. And it does leave a rather... oh, here you can see the wallbang as well. You can see that lineup, just one last connection through RPK. There's another man there as well. I think he tagged Smith down to 33.
Jesus.
That could have been a double. Yeah, Smith's down 51, then 33. That's crazy. Either way, we are going to be going into this one. Just Flusher things indeed. As this is just the warm-up.
I wasn't sure though.
Every time, you know. This is why I'm going to get the warm-up text. I'm going to make it happen, a reality.
Should we speak to Valve? Should we just be like, Valve, look?
Well, we've got some mock-ups of a design we've been working on.
Now, we really like our concepts towards it. We'd like you to really keep the core of our idea
I like that.
True. You could maybe center it, but we know Valve don't like to particularly center things anyway. If you ever look at the global logo.
No, it's the also the Master Guardian one. Has the weird circle.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I remember that one.
There's a few of them.
Oh, hello, Shadow Daggers. You got the original ones, whipping them out. Going to be going then into our second half here of our third game of the day. Titan versus Fnatic, and it's most definitely been a Swedish show so far. JW, it doesn't matter what he's using, is going to be able to get that pick early.
They're against Titan, and they do this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. They are running around having some fun with it at this point, and that's just the beauty of Fnatic, is they can win rounds like that. And look at them go. Pronax charges up through Connector to find Smith. Shox does finally trade that one out, so we are in a 3 versus 3. And it's Titan that now have to maneuver the bomb. Now, they're the ones that have to try and make something happen on the T side. The fact that Fnatic got 13 on T side overpass is just mind-boggling, considering you do usually expect to see more of a CT prevalence. Surprised myself with that one.
I'm rolling with it, as is Crims. Because, you know, everyone can do that with USPS. You know, that's super common. As he just kind of Kobe Bryant's his way out and leaves Olaf to kind of pick up the pieces. And there we go. What can you say about Fnatic? You know what I mean? They're literally just bowling around the map. It's just...
I think you can say a lot about their T side. That's worth watching back. You know, those early, like 8-9 rounds where they were really just playing with Titan, toying with them between these rotates. That's really sexy CS and definitely worth watching back if your overpass T side needs some work. And look at this buy as well. 3 FAMAS then for that long range expected here on overpass, and those 2 cheeky SMGs. Pronax and Flush are the ones wielding them. Looking to shred through. I would say the unarmored Ts, but we have seen both Shox and Smith go for the helmet. Yeah. And Screaming RPK, just the Kevlar.
And JW again, looking for these opening shots. It's a dangerous peak to take. He's going to find out they're armored sooner rather than later with the lack of dead bodies lining up for him, but he's going to find RPK, to be fair. And Flusher just rearing his head up, going, anyone else here? Oh, no, it's just JW going wild. All right, just... how? How does he do this?
3.
It's gross to watch, because it's like, okay, they're all peeking him, all challenging. He's on 12 HP, and he still makes it work. Still, Shox is alive now. No bomb to hand. JW's going to be covering that one off.
It's not far.
Nice prediction, but not going to be the one there. Going to be hunted down. And sadly, all alone. He's going to be in a real predicament here.
Yeah, I mean, the bomb is in long. Just to kind of summarize the situation Shox was in. 15-2 then the score. This one has been quite clearly cut since, well, not too long from the start, actually. You know,
yeah, it's been a real quick game.
It has been a very quick game, and for this one. It's just a demonstration of Fnatic's prowess and the reasons behind them being at the top of the scoreboard. Defending champions of the major as well. That's coming up just around the corner as well. We get to see another major already. And now, it seems like Titan are in a rather dire position. Just Tech9's and Arm. We saw what Navi could do with it over on Inferno in our first game, but they weren't 15-2 down. Let's see then how this one does go.
Smoke coming out already, and Olaf to position himself real close there. As Flush is going to be on to find RPK. And actually, Olaf
He didn't catch him.
Does let Shox slip by, and that could put JW in trouble, but this just means that Shox gets a lot more freedom than expected, but let's see what he can do with it here. No one else in his team is particularly safer. They're still within the grasp of Fnatic. They still have to get past the likes of JW, who's just sitting there spamming away bullet at a time, down to reload now.
It's like a gargoyle on the fountain.
Yeah. Nade will come through, doesn't actually catch out Scream. But where is Shox going? He's taking the tour of the map now.
Yeah, Shox has seen an awful lot of overpass without seeing an awful lot of CTs. And now we can find one. Pronax's head does get dissolved, and he's looking for a second. It's not going to happen though, as Crims is present. So all onto existence to keep Titan's hopes alive. It's very clear that this is not going to be an easy feat. I think he'd rather just be swinging on the swings and kick him back towards playground, but no, they're backing away. Does have the bomb to hand, but just 30 seconds for him to play with, to manipulate up against an armored, bought up, scary Fnatic side. 20 seconds now, he's making all the noise in the world. He isn't going to check his corners. This could very well be it, as he does try and fake it out. There's a man right behind him, and the daggers prevail. It's Fnatic who pick up the win. 16-2 the score. We asked if they could best their 16-5 loss. The answer is no, as Titan are going to be feeling the pain after that one, feeling the sting, as Fnatic do slap them in the face with a 16-2 loss. Yeah, and closing it down with a knife, I think, just sums up that entire game. I think you're right. I was like, I'm pretty sure if Olaf is behind him. Why is it taking so long? What's he doing? The daggers came to play. Let's be honest, as you said, Fnatic's T-side was really impressive. You saw what they can achieve when they play it super seriously, and then they just kind of boiled it down to winning challenges every single time. So, you know, when JW's operating on that sort of level, it's hard to tame. You know, for sure. There's only so much you can do. If you're not operating on the same level as him, you're going to find it very hard to tame Fnatic as a whole. And I think, sadly for Titan, they just felt the brunt of that. Now they get basically going back into a rematch. Let's see how much that game affected them. That's what I'm interested about. That's what we kind of, this is a little experiment then. We're in our lab and we're going to see... Social experiment. A social experiment. We've just seen a team play against mouz, but we've just seen these two teams play over on Cash. And now, after a very, very grueling loss, a kind of, you know, a loss... A hefty loss. A hefty loss ending in you being knifed, so, you know, as the final kill. Then going into your next game up against the same team, this time on Mirage. We're going to see how that one does unfold. We're going to take a quick break. You should too, but do not go anywhere, because when we get back, we're going to be bringing you another Titan game up against mouz. Or how brilliant and ingenious they could be. And then you added in Chris J's flair to it. This was a while ago, bearing in mind. But I'm always excited to see them play on this map, especially when you've got the real powerhouses in here. So I think this could be maybe not necessarily a better map for them, but I like their kind of skill ceiling, their potential on this. This is a tough one. So Titan will get to pick which side they start on here. Yep, so they do have that choice of side. Didn't help them too much over on Overpass, even though they got the choice of the CT side, and we saw that. Hell, you know, if they don't give them the CT side, Fnatic make T side their most favoured half. As it's time then for us to jump on into our final game of the evening. Titan versus mousesports. mousesports in dire need of a win, really. Currently residing at 2 wins, 4 losses now in the Pro League. Not a kind of results that redeem what is a very, very kind of stacked roster. I always feel like I look at that roster and I get, you know, a little bit excited. Every single one of them just powerful in their own right. Gobby, the man who can just get inside in game leader's head. You've got Chris J, this just a player that doesn't really need any introduction. And then you've got the likes of Nico and Nex, who are just these kind of crazy bad... Ooh, caught myself. Nearly called them a bad word. And Dennis, of course, as at the back. Crazy bah. Like sheep. Crazy sheep. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Chris J will kick things off here with that kill towards Smiths. And you can see Nex following up. This is one of the maps I've always, as said, liked mouz on. And it does seem as though it will be coming to the pointy end on towards this B side. Shox is dancing around. Existence was the one to pick up 1 kill towards Nex at least, but outside of that, this looks like very much a mouz round. The bomb should be planted any second now, as Scream
Just not going to land that shot towards Dennis's. Existence is the last man standing, looking for a couple on the way out. But the thing I was saying about this map is, in 2015, they had some great results here. They've picked up wins above TSM, above Unavis, above Dignitas. Now, you know, they're big names. They'd be an envy here. You know, this is not a new map to these guys, and they are very good at it. But Existence is going to make a little bit of bang for his buck here. Picking up another, that's 3 for him, so certainly making it a little bit more costly for mouz, and building up a little bit of economy for himself.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of puts him in a little bit of better stead going into the second, potentially the third. He's going to go ahead and potentially take Godby out of the running, brings him down to just 10 points of health. Godby fortunately gets away with his Kevlar intact. And we are going to go into the second one. I'm always intrigued to see the rifle and SMG ratio. And Existence is making the most out of that money. You're absolutely right. Goes full nades and acquires himself a scout.
But this is Chris J's territory. This is him with the scout, bearing in mind he will happily challenge down mid with this thing normally. And it looks like he's going to go for that one straight away. So let's see who gets the better of it here. I put my money on Chris J with this one, but doesn't actually get the tag to start off with and gets tagged up himself. So jump scout and comes out, but they're already predicting the play from Smiths coming out through that connector from A, trying to catch him off guard. But once again, this seems like that kind of play up short, maybe just trying to take over the map, take the fights, take the challenges. And as risky as it may seem, these guys are keeping it in check until then, as RPK did find Nico.
Yeah, and that's going to be the Nova doing damage, and actually did manage to find a connection with the scout as well, as Existence does get dispatched of. RPK had power there, but not enough. And then all onto Shox up against what is, I mean, a tagged up mouse, but really not too much a 5-7 can do. Just inspecting his stat track, seeing if he can add another 4 to those kills. It doesn't look likely.
And the thing that I like is that Nex and Chris J, the two are fairly tagged up, are playing kind of off the back of each other by connector. Bomb's gone down in a fairly safe spot for them too, so they can pretty much place themselves really safely. Chris J could even go on short if they feel threatened, and Shox is going to have to really work against it if he fancied his chances here, but everyone's vacated the site. I doubt he'll be able to get much out of this one, unless Chris J kind of makes his presence known. Actually, they are coming back through that way, so he might be able to get a cheeky kill towards Nex here if he's not careful. And that's all he wants to do here, Shox.
Yeah, he is just desperately just trying to make it a little bit more costly for mouz, trying to catch them on the exit, and he's not going to be given enough of a chance. Chris J did get brought down to 11, is just about going to get away. I say that down just to an extra 2 points of health taken off him, but that is going to be mouz who actually went down. Hang on a second, we lost 2 there.
Yeah. Chris
J. A scout and a, what did they lose, an SMG as well?
Yeah, I think so, but they kept both the AKs.
That's what, I guess, what's important.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll be okay, and Shock's got to keep the armor, and he's still on the same amount of money as the rest of his team, so it's pretty much just fine. I don't think they'll be able to do much with this round, and you can see the amount of rifles here for mouz Sports. Hell of a lot of Molotovs as well, so going to just try and flush out those corners without having to take the challenges, which is just the smart thing to do here. And once again, in towards short we go, just taking over the map, and it looks like they are looking towards B. The bomb is in that sort of position, but RPK, Scream, and Existence all going towards that connector side. Yeah,
so this is starting to heat up a little bit then for mouz, because that connector is going to be a bit of a gauntlet for which they are going to have to run through. Short, Chris J does put one into his chest of Existence, switches to the Glock, and isn't going to be given a second chance, as both RPK and Shox chime in with frags. That's a big step in the right direction for Titan in a round that they really are not geared to acquire. Nico, good damage, and he's going to continue to just knock them down. There's 2 members of Titan looking for the third as well as Shox. He's going to challenge with just his Kevlar 5-7, and he does manage to pick it up. Bomb, in the meantime, does get planted over on towards B, and he's just going to be happy to retrieve both a Molotov and an AK. As it does look like he's actually considering trying to do one better, charging straight in towards Nex's domain here on short.
Well, risky from Shox. I don't know if he's going to get much out of this one. Maybe just looking for the exits. He just heard that footstep from Nex as well, so well aware this player's here. And he gets the spray. He's got the tag there. Nex can't get out of this one, and he will eventually get picked up, but now it's down to Dennis, and Shox knows exactly what's up, going to dance around by the time, and he's safe as houses. Oh, Dennis actually did the jump just in time then. That was very close, very, very close. But still, really nicely done then. That allows Shox to drop out a gun, keep that rifle, and now go into this round in a really good position.
Yeah, there is an AWP as well about to be in play for, I think it's Smiths is going to be retrieving that one. Going to try and gain some mid-control, because it's definitely been seized primarily by mouz so far. They throw out the same smoke, they get Chris J the same position every single time, and looks like this round is going to be a bit of an exception, considering Nico's on the way towards A. 4 members of mouz are kind of on the warpath towards B. It's Chris J and Dennis who are going to be the ones to try and make the impression. As soon as that smoke does dissipate, before Chris J goes down next to Shox through smoke, he hasn't finished there. That's going to be 3! They had armor and everything. You'd almost feel like they had Glocks considering how fast they went down. And he's not quite finished just yet. Now we're going to be pushing through. In the meantime, mouz are reeling off the back of those frags, trying to make themselves something towards A. It's Existence and Scream who are going to be the ones lying in wait. Yeah, and Scream's in a great spot. He's just buying time. They might hear those footsteps though, so he might have to readjust a little. As Nico, we know this man can do wonders here. Not going to get the first shot up, and actually Scream dancing between it. Nico will land it. That little exchange being won out by Nico again. And look at this man, that's 2 already for him this round. Finally gets put to bed by Existence, who readjusts, waits for God B, and dives in the end with the M4. And that's going to be time starting to get themselves into control here. I think Shox can be the one to be thanked for that round. Yeah, I mean, Shox is solely responsible for that one, turning mousesports away from B. They tried it, and he just most definitely got the first connection through smoke and just left, kind of carried on through there. The second connection next, just 2 bullets through the smoke, finds his head. And that's huge from Shox. Now we're going to be seeing, though, if mousesports can make anything happen on this T side. Just a couple of, what's that, 2 P250s and a Deagle then going into this one. If they can get the bomb down, that's going to be a gift, but it doesn't look like it's going to be an easy feat, considering they're taking the bomb in mid, and Chris J does lose it. Yeah, but they've kind of baited Existence out, so Next will be able to pick it up. I don't think he's going to be able to recover any rifles here. They're all peeking, but no one's shots are landing, as Next and God B the last alive, as it is just Next. And he's surrounded by time. Keeping it relatively neat and tidy. They all took a bit of a beating, though. Yeah. RPK and Smith's a bit battered and bruised, but regardless, they do bring that round home rather tidily. mouz, they are going to be kind of having to make a different decision now, because they tried mid, they've tried B. Feels like we haven't seen an all like an A execute to any real degree. I think the most we've seen them kind of consider towards A was, I mean, what did we see? We've just seen splits, basically. Nico kind of lingering
working
around
up there. Yeah, we saw the end coming through. It was God B and Nico working through it. But look at Smiths with this sort of aggression. Stunning shot towards Dennis. That's something you don't see every day. Just sheer and utter profound aggression. And hell, he makes it away as well. That is just beautiful stuff. Really switching up the pace there. And he actually might be able to catch out Nico if he goes for this peak towards A ramp. He's gone in for it, but Nico's just ahead of where he peaked. So Smiths is going to back away, leaving the hands of Scream, who knows there's going to be another hit. God B has been hand in hand thus far, and just like a lamb to the slaughter into the eyes there of Smiths as Chris J, last man alive.
Indeed, Chris J, last man standing, actually does possess profound aggression and isn't going to be able to do too much with it. It's RPK then who does take him out of the running. And Titan, that's 2 rounds in a row now where they have managed to keep it completely clean. 5 players still standing at the end of that one, and mouz's economy is now looking a little less than ideal. I think we're probably going to be seeing a few more nades than that. No, just the 1 flash then for God B. I mean, that's going to keep Anders happy. He does panic when there's absolutely 0 nades bought. In fact, you know what? God B does one better and gets himself. Look at that little boost. Chris J just riding on his teammates' heads to get a little bit of a head start.
Just surfing his way to B.
And let's see if they can take Shox out of the running. He was the one that caused the problem. He was the one, in fact, through this very smoke.
God.
His team, and he's tried something different this time.
He's turned from the flash as well.
Side flash, and there it is. It's going to work perfectly. He gets 1, gets 2. Don't you dare continue. It's going to be a tough, tall order, as he's not going to be able to find too much more with the Tech 9, but RPK is happy to continue where his teammate left off, and Existence round the back as well. They are just going to be mowing the remaining Ts down. I say that, Chris J and Dennis have managed to make an impact. Now just 2 CTs remain. Dennis, no armor, no hope. And that's going to be the 4th for Titan.
Yeah, we're starting to get a little excited by Shox here, even on these eco rounds. He's playing it so well. And that's the thing, like when I think back about mouz and the variations of what we've seen in that kind of, since they've added the likes of God B so far, you know, the initial kind of impact of them being a really big addition, how they played on this map was just beautiful. Then we saw them actually shying away from Chris J with the AWP. That was something during the majors that we constantly were discussing, but it seems that Chris J is back playing that on a very regular basis, but now against him, the double AWP. We've got Shox and Smiths here. Chris J expecting the aggression from Smiths to come through by that underpass, but Existence this time straight towards the top of mid. Does make it out alive again. This guy is constantly adding pressure here. Chris J gonna go straight through the molly, go for the peak.
Oh my God.
Existence is dying for this. He wants it, but Chris J says no. That's his to take. Hops up towards shore, and this man wants to make a point now, and he might just have it. Scream, waiting ahead.
Oh, and it was just so close. That smoke perfectly timed, just kind of actually aids Scream's escape. RPK looking to try and do some damage and does so onto Godbeat through ladder room. He's expecting a push to him and he's going to be completely white, trying to evade him up the ladder. Not going to happen as Next does continue to pursue that frag. And mousesports, off the back of what was an incredibly aggressive push from Chris J through the molly straight into the open of mid.
But look at where Smith's is. Let's just take...
Okay, Nico's brain is no more and he's looking to do the second again. Not happening this time. As the two Ts are gonna... Oh, that nade landed slap bang on Scream's nose. And now it's a 3v2.
Oh, he denied the plant as well.
Smith managed to get two and the bomb's not down. Now all on to Next. He's got some ground to cover as well. He has to cross from Connector. He does catch a glimpse of one, but time becoming a problem now. 20 seconds and Smith does reveal his location. He could try and angle a plant here. He is going to be going for that one as he's going to get hunted down. The Molotov's going to make it difficult. Next trying to reposition. He does find Smith. Now all onto Shox. He's got no health. He's got no escape. It's all onto the aim and it's not going to be enough. Shox down to 41 and we are going to be seeing another round on the board for Titan.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What can you say about rounds like that? So much stuff just going on. It's ridiculous when you get these sort of players. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like you get Nico having rounds like that, then Scream just one-tapping people. It's just crazy to see. Just look at this. Just straight up sheer and utter control.
But he knew he was going to hit that. It wasn't a second shot. There was nothing. That was rather nice to look. Rather nice to behold is the word I was looking for. Now, Chris J does opt for his scout once more. He's bringing that back into the action. And actually, this could be the first time we see mousesports head on for a full-on A. They have the smokes, they have the nades. And actually, it doesn't look like they're actually going to be going announced. They're going straight up towards ramp without too much utility behind them. This is always interesting, because it's whether or not Titan anticipate it. No, they don't. Nico and Nex, the double N, finding the entries. They're going to find a third as well, as that site has just been completely seized by Mouse. And that was without the use of their smokes and flashes, just strolling into the site.
This is something I watched Kirby do, actually. A hell of a lot was play ahead of the smokes and the flashes, and it really worked out for him. But seeing a whole team do it, but Shox, what was that? Just beautiful play coming through. Dennis gets decimated, but Nex was there, so keeps the round in check. And even though Nex does pick up 3, the round does get closed out. The same can be said for Shox. So both doing well, but you know, one does provide the round. So Mouse was doing quite nicely on their T side here, keeping toe-to-toe with Titan. And looking at the money, it's not great for Titan here. They're looking a little bit strapped for cash.
Yeah, nor Mouse. They are going to be pulling it together, but there's definitely not too much of a lead brewing in their money. Chris, again, on the scout. Didn't need it last time because it was all on Nico and Nex that time. Now, oh, Smith, he knows it's going to be a smoke through window. Instead goes aggressive. He's forced, though, to back away through the flames because of those mid flashes. But again, managing to get away, kind of gets caught off guard thanks to the use of their flashes and smokes from Mouse. But he's going to be challenged out here. RPK forced to try and be the one to seize mid control. Chris J is going to be the first one on the scene. Not sure why, isn't going to be questioned. Scout VM4 and the Scout prevails.
But here's your man again, Shox. Do you want to take this? Because it might just get a little bit dirty here. He's waiting out that smoke. He knows his player's here. He takes his time patiently. He gets the first, looks for the second, but he waits a little too long. And Nico knew what was up. And wow, that is a tongue twister.
We've got a speech jammer installed on our microphone.
But still, the bomb is loose. The T-side don't have that into control yet, but Nico is going to make a path available. He can cross past short now and make the challenge, but it's Scream up against Nico. These two players, outstanding play so far, but it's Nico to close it out. Didn't even need the bomb, picks up the AWP and keeps Mouse very close in this race. Yeah,
that's just Chris J and Nico then. 3 for Chris, 2 for Nico. And the AWP is finally going to be making an appearance for Chris J. This time, though, up against an underbought Titan. Does sometimes get a little scary. Chris J goes for something early and aggressive and puts an AWP into the hands of the French. Oh, and Scream's holding a birthday present. That's cute. Oh, he's got his birthday present knife out. That's nice. And it doesn't look like he's going to be seeing too much action with that treat, as the majority of the T side are going straight towards that B side. And oh, Chris J takes Shox out. He's like, I know where you're going. You've been far too consistent with this B app's presence. He takes him out of the running.
You've had Titan's aggression throughout all of these rounds when they're kind of in these positions, excluding the one where I think it was Existence had the AWP and just went running randomly towards underpass. They do this on a fairly regular basis, and you can see Mouse sitting back expecting it, and it's paying off well. Existence could cause a little bit of a problem, but if he doesn't hold his patience here, Chris J will just take him out. So let's see if he does wait that full time and out, because actually no, are they going for it? They're rotating just in case. Dennis going to be taking that all the way around. Scream actually coming over towards B.
The bomb's not moving though. They dropped it down towards underpass.
Yeah, Chris J will probably just pick it up in the end and bring it through. Yeah. So Existence might be able to catch maybe a glimpse. No, look how safely they're playing this. Even now, just putting the smoke down. If they do walk through it, they'll be destroyed by Nex, and Scream's kind of in the same predicament here.
Yep, so mouz are going to try and follow in Titan's footsteps really with these kind of neat and tidy buys.
Yep.
It's not quite the same as we saw in that Inferno game at the start of the day, where you really cannot trust any sort of pistol. And again, Nico gave us a similar lesson with his Deagle. I saw someone actually already posting saying both Happy and Nico are trying to raise the price of the Deagle Blaze skin because that's the only one that we've seen these absolutely insane aces with. And I wouldn't be surprised if we could actually see like a market impact by plays like that. Regardless, it is going to be 5-6, and you keep saying it, and I think we do need to keep saying it. 5-6, 6 rounds on the T side here on Mirage, and not showing any signs of stopping is good stead for mousesports in this one. Desperate for revenge, they are thirsty to not see another loss on the board here in the Pro League. That would put them at 2 for 5. Very, very unusual and unexpected, I'd say.
But look at this play from Smith. Let's bring it back to the game here. Just so aggressive straight through. RPK as well playing fairly aggressive. Shock's actually not going as far forward. Christian just going to put down that passive smoke almost to allow him a second to peek. Smith will catch out God B as well. That's the bomb loose. That's a massive impact. Dennis and Nex are coming around the back though, so he might be able to get pressure from the other side here, but he'll have support very, very soon. He just needs to try and stay alive for a couple more seconds. I'm sure he don't expect Chris J. He knows his time's getting a little limited, but he does take down the first. Chris J pressuring from the side. He's trying to stay alive desperately here. And Chris J has to turn attention, but that Take 9 goes to town, and RPK will be found. And, well, looking at this so far, you've got to say it. Titan play this aggressive, crazy game, but at the moment, mousesports are dealing with them on every single level. But once again, the bomb for Chris J. Oh, what a way to put that threat to an end. Turns it around. And mousesports, even though unconventional play from Titan, just pushing up consistently that round. They do deal with it well. 5-7 now, and money-wise, Titan not in the best spot.
Yeah, so how do they go into this one? I mean, it's going to most likely be mousesports taking it nice and slow. It's kind of the aim of the game for mouz at this point. They know there's not going to be too much armor or weaponry on the side of Titan, so they like to try usually keep it at a slow and steady pace. And the fact that the bomb is dropped straight there towards the back of mid does indicate just that. To say that, Chris J's going for that early peek on towards Shox. He found it just the last time. He's going to be able to find it again. This time it's RPK.
He's gone back. He's like, that's not Shox.
He's like, hang on a second. Shox can't be too far behind him, and that molly could just force Shox out. No, the little lip of concrete is going to be enough to keep him safe. Already, though, damage done.
Yeah. Let's look at this one. Smith's just waiting to see if they push towards A. It's a slow and patient round. No one really wanted to make the move for mouz. They're so careful. And considering how that previous round played out, you can see why. Shox starts going walkabouts when he thinks it's clear, and you saw them pushing up mid before. But one by one, mouz are finding Titan. Really, Scream is the last bastion of hope, supported by Smith's here. Doesn't get the first shot off, and it's a quick little 2 cleanup. And the bomb was over by B anyway. So, all in all, nicely done by mouz, not losing a single player, keeping a vast amount of utility with them as well. And going into this round, you can see as to why. It's a big buy coming out from Titan. They've got the double AWP presence, and that could change things up here. But let's see who picks him up, because I'm pretty sure it was Shox for a little while who was running it over by that B side, but it does seem as though Smiths and Existence could be picking these up, and Existence has a good spawn towards mid, so I can imagine he'll be going straight up towards that challenge. And Smiths over by A.
Yeah, this is always, it's definitely something that Titan hunt for. Like, they always, when they have the opportunity, are going to be going for this double AWP, it seems. It's debatable, you know, whether or not it's going to be Existence or Smiths, or Shox, rather, excuse me, who's going to take it. Like, it's definitely kind of an open,
pretty up in the air,
book.
Right?
I think I'd be intrigued to know the decisions made behind it. Maybe it's just, you know, whoever fancies it in that round. Now, look at this. This is like the most default hold you're going to see from a CT. 2A, 2B, 1 mid. That's it. That's the hold. They're sticking to it.
So the only thing I'd say is, you know, RPK is pretty passive. We've been seeing him pushing up to short pretty early on, but
that's true.
I guess he's chilling out for a little while. And this is probably the most standard round we've seen from mouz as well. Like, they've been playing off of mid, B. They barely looked at A with more than maybe just Nico, but now they've got 3 players here. Dennis and God B probably looking to go through mid, as it looks like Smiths is already predicting this to some degree. Scream waiting in the same spot here. Smith's going to try and make the shot happen before Does get caught out. That's Dennis pushing through now. Chris J starts lurking forward. They've got to realize that Scream's waiting here. 3 players now pouring in. Chris J finds him. And that is the A site completely under wraps. They don't even need smokes. They just slowly work their way into the sites, taking the challenges.
Yeah, really, really nice as well. Just their challenge on Connector was impressive to me. That little pop flash thrown in by his teammate to aid Dennis's push, realizing the AWP was there, and then pressuring him as he repositioned. Very, very good. Just like individual plays coming out from Mouse, it seems, and working as a unit here as they get another step, another round closer to revenge against Titan after besting them 16-10 earlier on today. Just trying to keep their rifles then for the all-important final round on this first half here of our final game of the day of the ESL ESEA Pro League. I'm not too concerned for either side at this point. This, though, is a very, very good T side from Mouse. 9, 1 away from double digits just on the first half alone. And whenever you see a team starting to build a lead, especially if they do pick up that 10th, the pistol round is going to become more and more of a pressure for Titan. Yeah,
and as we saw for Titan in the last game, they were actually the ones who picked up the pistol in the second half, who brought it a lot closer. And we are seeing a bit of a quiet performance from Scream.
Same on Overpass as well.
Yeah, not surprising. And Smith decides to take the molly to the head and goes down to Dennis, but this just spurs Mouseboards on even further. 4 players split towards mid. Dennis over towards B as Shox. Might have to be some form of linchpin here if they do go towards that side on B. But next, going to be challenging on Existence, and Existence is holding back the flood here. Shox goes down, and that's B looking very vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely, but mid is going to be all RPK needs, at least just to find the one. It was God B then he managed to find before Nico swung around and found his head. That molly's going to make it difficult for Existence, and Nico continues to do just that. And now Scream needs to come up big. No health to work with. He's already found 2. This would be a 4K in the round, matching his previous frags from the entire game. Not going to happen. Chris J gets it, and that's going to be 10-5 then on the half. Mouse Sports, they've reached double digits, and just as I was highlighting before the start of that previous round, it's time to really see how much Titan can do on their T-side. We saw the distinct lack of T-side Titan on both Cash and over on Overpass, where we didn't really get a chance against Fnatic, to be fair.
Yeah, I think remove the Fnatic game, and we'll have to wait and see. I like Titan's T-side. I've always previously liked Titan's T-side on paper. The way they actually play, the way that they can choreograph their rounds is absolutely beautiful. But sometimes playing super standard like that just doesn't work out against teams like Mouse. You can't just rinse and repeat. As we saw, Mouse play barely played any standards, especially when they're going towards A. It looked, it was few and far between. No standard smokes, nothing like that. Just kind of went with it off the back of the picks, which is very impressive. But still, first round coming in on the second half now. Quite important, to be fair, especially if you're Mouseboards. If you can get this one in the bag, you'll be holding very good stead for closing this game out in your favor, which is, as you noted, something they definitely need. They are sitting down toward 9th currently, Mouseboards, if you don't include the previous results of today, as at the start of the day. But look at this play from Mouse. Already trying to get some map control here, taking over Palace. But while this happens, the bomb was with Smith. So that's Chris J claiming that one. The rest of Titan are left towards mid.
This could spell trouble for the French. Now they have just 3 to work with and actually take it all away. There's some numeracy is being done by RPK. Now finds 2 to find a 3rd as well, as he does manage to add them up. Does get caught through your smoke though, and that's going to be costly. Down now to 20. But finding 3 in very quick succession actually is going to be challenging out Dennis. Oh, and Nico. This is a problem, though, because he's not going to be able to deal with both. Dennis finds it, and that's going to be then 11 for Mouse Sports. It's time now to see whether they're going to go for the same old kind of scout and armored pistol. All right.
I'm just looking at Chris J.
They're going to keep it interesting. It'll be a huge risk.
There we go. So we are going to see the scout back out. But look at the armor that Titan are going for as well. So it's not going to be an easy one. It looks like the B train is underway. Every single player piling that way. But I wonder if they're going to cut through under, or are they going to go straight for it? It's going to be next to receive. He's got 4 plays. He actually fluffs the nade. That could be the difference here. He only has the SMG to hand and screams straight through. Got B now with the UMP. Going to be put to the same test, but look at this damage coming in. Titan are doing the work here. Nico trying to sneak ever closer. He's got the M4. He hasn't cleared out short thoroughly. Smith's was there. He gets picked up, and one by one, Nico is taking down the brick wall that was Titan until then. Existence clings onto this with that pistol as Dennis and Chris J left with the work as the bomb ticks ever faster. Dennis just brute forcing on the cross, and there we have it. This should be a closed down round. But no, Existence not done just yet. Going to go in for the challenge, and Chris J's there. The fuse will come out, but that was very costly.
Very costly indeed. And I mean, they invested quite heavily into SMGs, so meeting Tech9 armor can cause a little bit of a problem, and it most definitely did. Down to a 1v1. Fortunately, Chris J went a little crazy with his pistol and scout combo, doing damage as well as with his flash. We saw him delaying that kind of Titan group, kind of hive mind over on the site. That's now 12-5. Trying to see those final 4 rounds clinched, and they're going to be picking up an AWP for Chris J in this one. And hang on a second, looks like he's going to be going for an aggressive peek towards Palace. Nothing for him initially though, because middle is going to be the eyes of Titan's affection.
And I like this play from Titan. It's something they often did on maps like Dust 2. They'd often pick up, you know, just the rifles, and then supported by the Tech9s and with so much confidence that 1, they'll be able to pick up the rifles if lost, and 2, they'll be taking guns away at a recoverable range. But right now, it's not really paid off too perfectly, as Nico's the only one they've found here. And Existence might have the chance to get a little more, but just a little bit of a dance and then a back away. Dennis going to get out of that one. And while this happens, RPK and Scream are turning their attention towards the A site. Dennis and Chris J will be the first on the scene. And with 50 seconds left, Godbeat has a little bit of time to get over there as well. Existence really challenging out, but look at it, it's Scream to find Godbeat. Now Dennis, he's got to be a real linchpin here.
Absolutely, and he is going to manage it. The bomb now loose, and those slippery hands are going to continue to fumble with the bomb. Scream now goes down, and it looks like Existence is going to be meeting an all too familiar fate. Existence now is going to be, I think that's, is he at the bottom of the scoreboard again? No, excuse me, he's at the top of the scoreboard. I knew I'd seen him at one end of the spectrum. He is sitting now over on 11 frags. Shox with 14 as well in this one, but then you go ahead and look at the side of mouz, and you have 23 Chris J, 18 for Nico. Their fraggers are fragging, and this is what mouz Sports look like.
Good display from those boys, and Titan just going back into this. So you can see they're just going for everything they can every round, pretty much. Existence like, all right, let's P250 armor, hope we can do something. It looks like the B train again. Next, ooh, fluffing up, doesn't get it done, but here we go. Nades come through. Godbeat waiting patiently with the UMP, and it's a tear down. Look at this guy. That's 3 kills. Probably not going to get much more as he runs out of ammo, but he set it up well until Scream finds 2. Godbeat next go down. Chris J on the scene. Scream gets another. He's got 2 more to find. He's got 3 to his name, and he's got the rifle and the armor. Picks up the bomb. 1 minute. But there's still Nico here, and Nico has been his...
They're going to hear him. They're going to hear those footsteps.
Surely going to hear that.
Yep.
They are. There we go. They're already turning attention. You can see them both starting to rotate. Scream has 50 seconds to pull off something phenomenal here.
And I'm not sure whether he's registered that they're going to be fully aware. Like, he must have kind of figured that they'd be close. Maybe anticipating more of a presence in kitchen, which would mean he was unnoticed. But here he comes. He's about to walk into a very scary death trap as the 2 CTs lie in wait. He's like, I've been foiled, the plan's over. And as this pincer movement does move in, Nico picks up another. And mouz Sports closing in on victory here. A very different mouz Sports to what we saw on Cash, or rather actually a bit of a different Titan.
Yeah, maybe, as you said, that Fnatic game a little more frustrating individually than expected. But Godbeat here, making the most of that UMP, just showing us how it's done. Yeah, the flash worked out perfectly. Just split up 3 and allowed the other 2, to come through a little later. But still, Scream, very dangerous as a player. You can always see that in the way he's able to perform as an individual. But still, 3-2 split coming out from Titan. 3 towards mid, 2 towards A. Smith's on the slow play through those apps. Existence going to be looking towards ramp, but Chris J actually getting digged back a bit, but it doesn't matter. He's going to go back for seconds and catch out RPK as Shox. Just goes for a walkabout, but can he find anything with it? He
did catch a glimpse of Nico as well under balcony, and he's going to try and throw a nade, but oh, he waited too long. He bided his time and it ended up costing him his. There's now Smiths. It's going to be forced into a rather dire scenario. 1 versus 4. What was that? Now 1v1. He's taken down 3. This could very well be a 4th. He doesn't have the bomb, though, and that bomb is in the clutches of Dennis. A crucial round now for Smiths, and he's given Chris J a lesson or 2. It seems with this scout play. Rocking the blood in the water, and he can most definitely smell it as well, as this could be rather special from the French. He's kind of ruled out Connector because of that initial look, and 40 seconds left. He needs to get that bomb. Does so. Dennis surely can hear him. It's going to come down to how quick he can flick. Not going to be enough, as Dennis does take him down and out, and that's going to be just another step closer for mouz Sports. 15 now. That's getting terrifying for Titan. Their money is not great.
No, it's not. Like, they can pull together a buy here, but
there's no
very
AWP.
limited
That's
utility. No
gonna be
AWP to be really seen. But look at this play. You know, the thing is that no one questions the skill of these boys. It's just as a team. That's what we want to see, is how much can they do here. And actually down to 4 players, it seems. Maybe someone just struggling at the end, but we'll see if it does close out in this round. Maybe they just need 4 to encourage them. Who knows? But the P90's back out for next. A little bit hard up for Cash, and Shox will punish. Does get that kill, so bring it back to a 4v4 now. And Dennis going to exchange on towards him. But while all this happens, the bomb is by top mid. That's the biggest problem here, because those 2 players by B could have broken through. Scream and RPK were slowly getting there, but with that bomb once again loose, this situation is not looking good for Titan.
Not by any stretch of the imagination. You're absolutely right. And now, I mean, the fact that Nico is just again going to be babysitting that bomb does pose a couple of question marks. One was, where did Existence go? What's going to be done about that? And now it all comes down to Scream. 50 seconds to keep his team in this game. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very much needed, I think, game for mousesports. Trying to put another win on the board for them. Scream's not done yet, though. And oh my god, they just keep fragging. That's 2 now. He's looking for a 3rd. He's going to get it. That's 3. mousesports' brains splattered across the walls of Mirage. It doesn't look like he's stopping just yet.
Unreal, absolutely unreal. How many times does they need to be taught a lesson by Scream to just not challenge like that? Now, can God B read the situation well? Can he read it perfectly? A man known for his game sense here, already expecting Scream to be heading towards A. Time is of the essence, and Scream's going to go for the challenge. He's got the shot, he gets the tag, he gets the frag. That's 4 for Scream. Perfect play from such a insane individual.
God damn, that was... This has just been a fantastic night of casting, Lauren. We've been given us a couple of individual showings, I think.
Oh, yeah.
As mousesports are not going to be picking up that win just yet, and that does put Titan back in the running, considering now they are going to be going up against money as well. A very poor mousesports.
Considering Scream was a little quiet, let's say, overall, with not necessarily just consistency. I think that's a harsh way of putting it, but a little quiet in performance today. Overall, that is a brilliant round for him, and Shock's going to make light work of 2, and Titan doing well here, not taking too many risks, not allowing Chris J to get in on this, and now next, dealt with smoothly. Every player stays alive. Titan get a little bit of hope back in the game.
I mean, you win a round, you start with 4 after an incredible clutch like that. There's going to be a little bit of raised voices on communications, and that can do an awful lot for awful lot of teams. And
double eco basically coming out for Mouse.
Yeah, that's going to put 8 on the board for Titan, you would assume. And of course, I do say assume. Nico has a deagle, so I'm not going to say anything.
We learned our lesson.
Yeah, we did. I was right. I'd written that round off. Anyway, damage from Chris J does connect. It's going to be a little bit of a tickle on towards Smith, down to 84. A bit of a spread, a light spread of the T's.
I just get nervous seeing Nico doing that, just peeking out with the deagle. But yeah, it's a pitter-patter of not so tiny feet, and God be the only one to get a kill in this round thus far for the CT side on towards Scream. And this probably won't go any better for next. Probably.
Probably is an understatement, I think, holding that angle. As the bomb does go in, and this would, of course, be Titan starting their journey back in the running of this best of 1.
Oh my God.
Next, don't you dare. 2 more to find. It's Smiths and Existence. I've had enough of screaming about deagle plays. He has put an AK in his hands. He's got 2 more players to find. Fortunately, Existence saves the day, and that's going to be a much-needed round for Titan. On their way back, but it's going to be a long and dangerous trail. No room for error at this point, as mousesports now, after their double eco, are going to have enough to really put up a fight.
What is going on with these deagles recently?
It was a deagle blaze as well. I'm just saying.
The conspiracy is real. Anyway,
€10 increase.
Kill by kill. Smith's going to be the one picking up the ult this time, and Chris J on the opposing side. And it looks like a lot of presence towards mid, and that is going to give Chris J free reign. Already finding Smith's his opposite number. And Nico going to follow up on towards RPK. This looks like a big round coming out, but Nico into the flyer, just dropping down towards mid. And Titan falling like flies. They're down to 2 already, Alex. This is not looking like a winnable round. Then again, Scream is alive.
That's the redeeming feature, absolutely. Existence is still hanging about as well with just 21 points of health, but a full stacked up mousesports roster are on the hunt. The other redeeming feature is that the majority of them are away from A. Chris J still in middle. 3 other players, including Nico, are away towards more T-spawn B. Fortunately, Chris J is on the road, so that smoke's going to be enough of an indicator that he should probably get himself over there. Next is taking the hint as well as they're about to walk straight in, and Chris J takes Scream straight out through ramp. Looking for a second as well. It's going to be Existence. He is going to go down. Chris J, so damn strong. 3 kills for him to end that round and pick up a much, much needed win for mousesports in that one. They were sitting rather low on the standings at the start of today, and they were given a couple of opportunities, 2 games against Titan to try and rock that boat, and they managed to stay exactly the same place. 1 win, 1 loss, and a lot of experience to show for it.
Yeah, I think we saw real flashes of brilliance from Titan throughout today, but after that Fnatic game, it's hard to recover from a thrashing like that, let's be honest. But, you know, I've always liked Mouse on this map. I think Mirage has been one of those that actually been very strong on from the very offset of Godby being a newer addition to that team once he joined on board. They always operated very well on it. Yeah. So even if it's not to the same degree after that honeymoon period, it's good to see that consistency still there. And of course, Scream. Yeah, there's so many moments in that game we have to look back on. But all in all, I think we had a really good day of games. Yeah,
we've been gifted a whole lot of little CSGO presents, it seems, and a little recap what you missed. And if you did miss it, where on earth have you been? There's a whole lot to catch up on. First up, it feels like so very long ago, we saw Dignitas up against Na'Vi on Inferno, going into a double overtime. Really, honestly, a fantastic game to watch, seeing glimmers of brilliance from Dignitas.
Especially AZ and Schneider, those two in unison really working well. And Na'Vi too, having some big rounds going for them, but the one thing I liked about Dignitas was the way they were playing towards quad. Their T side looked pretty damn strong, and then they picked up on the CT towards the
Definitely
end.
Putting some work in on those strategies on Inferno. Moving on into the next game, we saw Cash played out. It was Mouse versus Titan, and I mean, what is there to be said about that one other than Nico?
Exactly. That Deagle play was second to none. There was other moments in there that will probably be just as impressive if you watch it back, but that will stand out a mile. But Fnatic against Titan was a whole different thing, wasn't it?
I mean, that was just a tutorial on how to play overpass T-side. If you guys are struggling to kind of flounder around on T-side, just have a little look at that one. See if you can get your boys moving in similar fashion to the reigning champions and the leaders of our Pro League.
Yes, and of course, as you just saw, the game, mousesports picking up there. 16-8 to close us out. Titan just shying away a little at the end, maybe losing a little bit of that stamina towards the end then. But overall, a good day of games, I think, and a good day of individual performances that everyone can enjoy. Yeah,
a whole lot of good games. And if you're sat there craving more CS, there is more to come, both on NA and tomorrow in the side of EU. We're going to be bringing you a whole lot of Na'Vi, it seems, as well as seeing a bit more of the French team Envious.
And let's be honest, my eyes go straight to one matchup as well. It's Fnatic against Envious on Cash. Really exciting game. That's going to be a really nice one to close us out on as well.
Yeah, that's going to be the Score Esports hot match, I think. So do be sure to tune in for that one. It's going to be hot, like a Deagle Blaze.
Oh, you had to, didn't you?
I'm just saying, I'm not going to lie. I think there's a bit of a conspiracy rising here.
Just like an oven.
Something about that Deagle. Either way, as I did just mention, you should be sure to check out the Score Esports application available on your phone so you can get results on the move.
It's hot.
It's hot. Did I say it weird? Is that why you're bullying me about this?
I don't know. It's in my head like that now.
She's losing her sanity now.
Yeah, I'm a little
Congratulations to you is due, Lauren. You didn't die during this one.
I may be operating on one lung, but it's still going, so well done me.
So Lauren didn't die. We saw some good CS. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow.